जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ जय गिरिवरधारी जय गिरिवरधारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ जय गिरिवरधारी जय गिरिवरधारी जय यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ जय गिरिवरधारी जय गिरिवरधारी जय यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा एवरीवन हरे कृष्णा जय हरि हरि बोल जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय
Prabhuji, please can you make Chirag Prabhuji the co-host?
Yes.
He's raised his hand.
Yes, he's done. I couldn't find Dr. Ravi.
Yes, Prabhuji, I'm here only.
Is it just Ravi or Ravi K?
You just made me admin, Prabhuji.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you
Yeah.
so much. Okay.
Prabhuji, I will be muting all the participants and switching off all their videos. And after the class is over, we can take their queries. And they can also send the queries to us in the chat box so that we can take the queries after the class.
Surely, thank you so much. And just wanted to, again, I tried, it's not working. I think YouTube Live, it says it's not enabled on this particular ID. So YouTube Live, we are facing issues. Anyways, I have
Prabhuji,
started
your
it.
recording option is on. So I
Yes.
think that link we can send.
Okay, perfect, perfect. Done. Once the recording is done, then we'll post it to YouTube that way. Done.
Okay, Prabhuji.
And one more
Prabhuji,
announcement,
once
please do not raise your hand during the class. We will be taking your queries after the class. Just send your queries to us.
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for all those announcements and all those things, right? So yeah, so what we're going to do is in the next 1 hour or so, we're going to go through this particular sessions. During the sessions, we will, if you raise your hand also, we will not be able to answer. This will help us so that we are able to deliver the session in a smooth and efficient way so that there is no disturbance or a distraction. However, there will be a timeline almost 30 minutes after the session is complete, where we will take up all the question and answers. And also the chat is currently disabled, if I understand correctly. So the chat will be again open as and when the question answer session starts, right? And you can raise in your questions during that time. In case we miss out any of the questions, so what we're going to do is we will share a Google Sheet for you people. In case you have any additional questions, then we will be more than happy to answer all such questions, right? With this, we're going to get into the journey of our 18 days Bhagavad Gita course, right? I myself, my name is Samba Shiva. Hare Krishna once again, and welcome all everyone on this particular channel. Whoever was there, good morning, good evening, wherever you people are based. Along with me, I have Mamta also, who's joining us for this course. And we have a wonderful admin team who's backed up with Dr. Bhakti Mataji, and also we have Dr. Ravi as well, and also the other admins teams who are there behind the scenes who are working. So we will take each and everyone's expertise and we will try to learn this particular Bhagavad Gita in the next 18 days. Right. Before we start, let's offer our prayers to our gurus and acharyas, and then we will get into the mood of Bhagavad Gita and take the blessings of all our gurus and acharyas. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकय चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखावितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, so we are going to learn whatever we are learning from the commentaries or from the teachings of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. In the next 18 days, this is what we're going to learn from the teachings of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. For people who are not aware of, I'm sure everyone are aware of His Divine Grace. And in case you're not aware of, he's a founder Acharya of International Society for Krishna Consciousness, which is ISKCON. With his blessings and with his teachings, we will take this journey forward. Right. So let's dive into Bhagavad Gita. So when did Bhagavad Gita start, or how was this Bhagavad Gita totally started? We're going to see that Bhagavad Gita was spoken by Sri Krishna himself, and this particular Vedic wisdom was passed by the oral reception from generation to generation by the topmost rishis or the saints or the great ascetics, right? Until it was written by Srila Vyasadeva once again, who was empowered by Sri Krishna more than 5,000 years ago. We're going to learn further in terms of the disciplic succession and how it started, where did the chain break, how did it break, and what happened, how did Bhagavad Gita again come into picture, why was it spoken again. We will see that in the upcoming and the preceding chapters. Moving forward, in order to preserve the timeless Vedic wisdom for eternity, Lord Krishna created a chain of spiritual masters who have passed on to our hands. We will see that this is our Vaishnava, Gaudiya Vaishnava personalities, which we will see. We will see, in fact, in the third chapters and also in the fourth chapter in the upcoming days, where we will see the disciplic succession and also the various paramparas where one can learn from. And this is our Gaudiya Vaishnava Parampara. You see, we see here Srila Prabhupada with the chain of disciplic succession, starting from Lord himself, and then the Brahmaji Brahmamadev Gauda Sampradaya, and then we see Bhakti Siddhanta, who's the spiritual master of Srila Prabhupada, and then going forward with Gaur Kishori Baba Maharaj, and so on and so forth. These disciplic succession we will learn further as well in the upcoming chapters. Right, with the same mood, let's little bit understand about Srila Prabhupada, how his journey, how he began his journey single-handedly, what he has done so far with ISKCON, right? What we see here in this particular slide, Srila Prabhupada's father once bought him a small cart during his early age. So he was born in a very aristocratic family. So we are talking about Srila Prabhupada before getting into Bhagavad Gita chapter 1, so that we set the right mood and the right spirit to learn Bhagavad Gita here. Right. So this was where Srila Prabhupada's father once bought him a small cart to pull the deity, which is Lord Jagannath deity. So during his childhood itself, he was very fond of doing all these cart festivals of Ratha Yatra, so on and so forth. Right. So Srila Prabhupada would organize all the small festivals with his neighborhood and along with his playmates as well. Right. Moving on, we will see. Then he has ventured into where he has met Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, who is his spiritual master, in one of the conferences in the early 1900s. And in the first visit itself, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur gave him the instructions that you have to preach this starting from the West. So he took his instructions immediately. And he did not even turn back. So this is where he's setting the pace where he's with his associates, his preaching. He started his preaching way back. It took almost so many years for him to learn and master all the information about Bhagavad Gita. He gathered everything. And then finally, he decided to travel to America at the age of 69. Can anyone believe it that he has traveled to America or US at the age of 69 years? So 69 years is something where we all almost at the age of 38, 40, we try to retire. In fact, we search for retirement plans, or we plan for retirement, but If you see, that is where he began his journey. He didn't know anything about it. All he knew was the instructions that was given by his spiritual master, and he took it upon himself to give the message of the Lord, that is Bhagavad Gita, and start from the west. Right, this is the Jaladuta which we see over here. That's the first thing, where he went in the extreme winters during that time when he landed there in 1965 in US. Moving on, we see that he has done, and today we are very blessed, and also blessed by His Grace Namanishta Das Prabhu, where during this pandemic we are connected on this particular global call or the Zoom call. While this is not the ideal way of discussing, but I would say the face-to-face discussions would have been much more cordial and ideal. But taking this as an advantage and a lead, so with his grace, with his teachings, we are taking this particular opportunity to learn Bhagavad Gita and explore how we can utilize this Bhagavad Gita into our life principles as well. So if we see the pictures here, he was in a complete ecstatic mood where he set the pace, he set the almost the spirit of all the devotees, where he's established many and many temples. And we see this particular picture over here. This particular picture is again almost in 1970-71, where he started single-handedly again in Moscow, that is in Russia. Everything he started as a scratch after his successful what you call journey in the United States and Canada, parts of Canada. And today we see everywhere the message of the Lord is being shared via his teachings of Srila Prabhupada. Right. We see here back to Godhead, back to Godhead. I'm sure many of you, or almost all of you, would have heard what is this Back to Godhead. Back to Godhead was a magazine which Srila Prabhupada posted or published his ages. Apart from this, there are many scriptures which he has commentated on, where many books he has written on. We will be sharing these particular links. I see our admin team so wonderful. They have already shared enough of information with you people in terms of the translations of the books and in terms of English literature, and everything they have already shared over here, which has been in various versions of Bhagavad Gita. So all these have been published by Srila Prabhupada, by the grace of Srila Prabhupada. Moving further, we will see a small timeline. Do we have the timeline ready?
Yes.
Okay. Can we just see the timeline of Srila Prabhupada so that we can understand while we pull that quickly? Just give us a minute. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Yeah.
Yes. With the audio as well?
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much. So we saw the timeline. We see some questions over there as to who gave him so much money to travel different countries and that too frequently. Well, we should understand the mood over here with the mood saying, how was he able to travel at the age of 69? How did he even try to even travel so many countries, 108 countries where he was able to travel just for us to establish for his teachings of Bhagavad Gita, to instill the devotion within ourselves, to what you call awaken our dormant hearts. Okay, right. So that he and Krishna utilized him, or Krishna used him as an instrument. That's how he became an instrument in the hands of Lord Krishna. I see that most of are saying I can't listen anything, or your audio is so low. Dr. Bhakti or Dr. Ravi, can you please confirm if our audio
Prabhuji, audio is good. I
Okay.
think there's some connection error with them. We've told them to rejoin.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Mataji.
Prabhuji, can you share this link, this YouTube link that is on the WhatsApp group?
Sure, Mataji, I'm sharing it.
Okay, Mataji.
Is it on the WhatsApp or on the chat, Mataji?
On the admin group, you can share it on our group, WhatsApp admin 9 p.m. group. Then I will share it on all the other groups.
Okay,
Sure,
Mataji.
Mataji.
Okay.
Okay. So let me share the screen here. So getting back to our normal slide. This is, we saw the timeline between 1965 to 1977. That's where he landed in US in 1965, and in 66, International ISKCON came into picture. That's how it was established, and within no time, the 1977 till he was Divine Grace was there. That's how he was able to establish so many temples, and that's how we are able to take his teachings today. Right. So here we see a wonderful Radha Govind over here. This is from our ISKCON Mangalore, which is based in the Coconut Garden Road. Most of you people who would have joined during our Sankranti and other celebrations which we had I'm sure you would have got the news by now that we are, by His Grace Namnishna Das Prabhuji, we are getting into new constructions. We're going to start the construction of a temple. Very soon you will hear the news. I'm sure you would have seen all the videos that have been posted by our admin team in terms of how the temple construction is going on. Right? We'll be blessed soon with the temple as well. With their blessings, we'll progress. Okay. I think someone is unmuted. Okay, that's fine. Thank you so much. Is there someone who is unmuted? Can we please mute them? Okay. Right, we'll move forward with our Radha Govind blessings in this particular journey, right? He's our, His Grace Namnishna Das Prabhu, who's our temple president. I don't think he requires any other introduction. Most of you people would have heard his lectures where he delivers lectures after lectures relentlessly. For him, we don't know which is a day and which is a night. And if in case you might be wondering, it's an exaggeration. You can tune into our channels, all our channels. You will find him early morning, 4 o'clock, and we don't know when is it night time, right? With his blessings, and we are thankful with his blessings, taking this pleasure and of learning Bhagavad Gita 18 days. And this is a 10th batch, and this will continue for a long time, taking the pandemic into account. And I'm sure this will go a long way. Right. So now before getting into Bhagavad Gita, let's try to understand about how Bhagavad Gita unfolded. I'm sure most of you are aware of the Mahabharata. I'm not going to get into, or we are not going to get into the Mahabharata Parvas altogether. Just to give you a glimpse of it, we have seen the Pandavas and the Kauravas, both belonging to the same Kuru dynasty, and what happened with the Pandavas, who deserved the kingdom and who did not deserve the kingdom. We also know who were the aggressors, with how, what kind of an attitude and what kind of mood these guys have. The Kauravas try to con the Pandavas at every now and then, and we have seen the hardships of the Pandavas. And in fact, at the last, when the Pandavas requested the Kauravas and Dhritarashtra of returning their kingdom, because they were the rightful owners of that particular kingdom to rule, the Kauravas, including Dhritarashtra, followed by his associates in terms of his son Duryodhana, denied to give the kingdom. Finally, Lord Krishna entered, and we know why Lord Krishna descends, which we will learn that elaborately. But as we all know, Lord Krishna descends for three reasons. One, to take care of his associates or his pure devotees or any of his devotees. Number two, he comes here to establish dharma, dharma after again and again, and also to establish the religious principles. That's how the Bhagavad Gita was spoken. And when he descended, he in fact requested, he went there as a doot or as a messenger, where he requested for only 5 villages. But the Kauravas, because they were literally blinded, they were blinded and they were literally foolish in terms of when not even giving or associating or not even agreeing to give them, the Pandavas, the 5 villages. And finally, it ended up in a fratricidal war. What is a fratricidal war? A war between the same family. That is, they all belong to the same dynasty, which is a Kuru dynasty. But here, it was the Pandavas and the Kauravas. So that was the background of Bhagavad Gita. Now we will see about Bhagavad Gita over here with a little bit of a story. Let's go back to our childhood days with a little bit of story of the Brahmana and the cobbler. You will understand at the end as to why we spoke this 3 minutes or 4 minutes with this story. Right. So,
Prabhuji, can I disturb you for 1 minute? Sorry.
Yes, please.
Mataji has just sent the link of that video. She has not sent the live link of the session.
Live
That link she has.
Yeah, the live link of the session, we are not able to do it, Mataji. I don't know, there is an issue with this particular Zoom ID. That's what the error message comes in again and again when we are trying to go YouTube live.
Mataji, the Zoom link is not having the capacity to YouTube live.
So, or else we will share the
Oh.
host. You have the login credentials. We can share it to you. Either of you can try with any other ways while we are delivering.
Okay, okay, sure. Yes,
I'm
please.
sharing the IDs, Mataji.
Okay. Sorry, please
Probably we
continue.
can do this later because recording is going on. We can share the recorded file.
Yes, we will
Because
share
it will
that.
already
That
getting
way,
late.
we'll share the recorded file. I think Mataji is trying to take advantage of the people who might be missing out on the YouTube live. Am I correct, Mataji?
There are
Yes,
people who are
Prabhuji,
joining,
yes.
Prabhuji. There are
Yeah.
more than 500 people.
Yes.
Yes, then we can continue. We have 535 people here.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. Okay, so to start off with a story, so Srila Narada Muni was traveling to different places on planet Earth, singing the glories of Lord Narayana. As we know, he's the famous messenger or the Narada Muni, where he travels to all different places in any planet just to spread the glories of Narayana or Lord Krishna. Right. So when he traveled, he saw during his travel, Narada Muni saw a Brahmana taking bath in the river. So as in when he saw, the Brahmana came out and he asked Narada Muni, "Dear Narada Muni, are you going to meet the Lord?" And then Narada Muni replied, "Yes, I'll be meeting the Lord very soon." So then the Brahmana was very inquisitive or very curious, and he asked, "Then please do me small favor. Can you please ask Lord, when am I going to join the Lord in the spiritual world?" He was so curious to know as to when he's going to go back to the Godhead, that is to the spiritual world. It will be very soon, but I still want to know only from the Lord. According to him, the Brahmana feels that he'll be going soon, very soon, but still he wants to know from the Lord. Then Narada Muni replied, "All right, I will ask the Lord." After some time, while he was walking, Narada Muni passed a humble cobbler repairing shoes on the roadside. Then, as and when the cobbler saw Narada Muni, he said, "All glories to you," and he offered his obeisances to Narada Muni. Then the cobbler also asked the same question, "Dear Narada Muni, are you going to meet the Lord?" And Narada Muni replied with the same tone, "Yes, I'll be meeting the Lord very soon. Do you have any questions that I should ask?" So that's where the cobbler also asked, "When you meet the Lord, please ask the Lord, after how many more lives will I go to the spiritual world, as I am tired of living in this material world?" Okay, let us try to understand the mood over here, everyone. Right? So the cobbler is asking, "I am tired of living in this material world." Right, moving on, then Narada Muni said, "Yes, I will certainly ask the Lord." Then when Narada Muni met the Lord, goes to the spiritual world and reaches a place of Lord Narayana, that's where Lord receives him with the honor and affection. And then he asks, "How are you, my dear Narada? Is there anything I can do for you?" That's where Narada told the Lord about the Brahmana as well as the cobbler. And he said that they wanted to know from the Lord as to when are they going to reach the spiritual abode. Then that's where Lord Krishna responded, the Supreme Personality of Godhead responded, saying, "The Brahmana will come back to me after 100 lives, and the cobbler will come back to me after finishing this life only." I'm sure as and when they hear this from you, Narada Muni, they will ask you what I was doing. You tell them that I was threading an elephant through the eye of a needle. Yeah, let me repeat. Uh, Please tell them that I was threading an elephant through the eye of a needle. On seeing their reaction, you will understand everything. So Narada Muni came back to the material world, and then that's where he comes back immediately and he first meets the Brahmana. That's where he says, "Oh Brahmana, the Lord said that you will see him after 100 lives." And let's look at the reaction of the Brahmana. Then the Brahmana says, "I don't believe you. I cannot believe you. You're saying this that I'm going to take 100 lives. Did you even see the Lord? Tell me, what was the Lord doing if you have seen him?" The Lord was threading an elephant through the eye of a needle. That's exactly what Narada Muni replied. And let's see the reaction of our Brahmana. The Brahmana said, "What? He was threading a needle, he was threading an elephant through the eye of a needle?" The Brahmana was, he was like, "Impossible. How can anyone thread an elephant through the eye of a needle?" You never met the Lord, and you're cheating me, or you're just lying to me by saying unnecessary and imaginary things. Then Narada Muni noticed his reaction and then went to meet the cobbler. When he meets the cobbler, he says, "Oh, cobbler, you will see the Lord after finishing this life only. You will be going back to the spiritual world immediately after this life." Then the cobbler immediately asked him, "My Lord is very merciful. What was the Lord doing when you saw him?" Narada Muni, that's what he asked. So then Narada Muni replied to the cobbler, "The Lord was threading an elephant through the eye of a needle." Then the cobbler was like, if we remember, what was the reaction of the Brahmana? The Brahmana said, "Impossible." But the cobbler here, he says, "Wonderful," right? Then he was like, "Wonderful." Then Narada Muni asked, "Oh, really? Do you actually believe that what I said right now?" To the cobbler, he asked. Then the cobbler states, "Of course, look at this big banyan tree. It comes from a small seed. If such a big tree can come from such a small seed, then the Lord can easily put an elephant through the eye of a needle." This was what the mood of the cobbler. Seeing the difference between the faith of the Brahmana and the cobbler, Narada Muni understood why they had to be rewarded differently. Right? So this is what we can understand over here, the mood. Let's try to understand the moral of this particular story here.
Yes, Srila Prabhupada pens it down that so this is called faith. There is reason behind the belief. If Krishna can put a large tree within us, large tree within so many little seeds, is it so astounding that he is keeping all the planetary system floating in space through his energy? It is simply meant for the devotees. They can understand, the non devotees cannot understand, they will say, "Oh, these are just bluffs." So we see that Brahmana who always serves the Lord at the temple, still Krishna was always favorable to all the devotees who are having that mood. The mood is more important than what class or where you belong or how you're serving. But it depends on what is the mood in which you're serving the Lord and what is the faith and the belief that you're carrying is more important.
Yes, we will learn the different kinds of people, why they surrender to Lord, why they come to Lord, why do they pray to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, or why do they pray to even God. We will understand that and see that in the upcoming chapters. But here, what we are trying to establish here is how one should learn Bhagavad Gita, or how one should take the spirit of Bhagavad Gita with the mood of complete surrender, with a faith and a belief that whatever we are learning right now is from the scriptures. It is not me who is saying, it is not Mataji who is saying, or it is not our gurus who are saying. It has come from our gurus, right? The scripture says it, and it has come from our gurus through a disciplic succession without any adulteration. It's non-adulterated, and that's how this is exactly what we are saying today. So we will see how Bhagavad Gita helps us in our life sciences as well, in our day-to-day life as well, moving forward, right? Moving over here, we see, right, what is the mood. We just understood that Bhagavad Gita should be taken in the spirit of a devotion. If there is no spirit of a devotion, then we will not be able to understand Bhagavad Gita. One should not think that he or we or she is equal to Lord Krishna, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Also, we should not think that Krishna is an ordinary personality or even a great personality. But we should always understand that he's not a simple or a great personality, but he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And we will see all these scenarios in our upcoming chapters. We will establish in terms of why he's called the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And one trying to study Bhagavad Gita should at least theoretically accept that Sri Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, right? And one should read in a submissive mood. That is exactly what we are trying to establish here before we unfold the chapters. Chapter 1, and that is a mood is submissive, and it has to be accepted because it has been directed by the speaker. And who's a speaker? Which is Lord Krishna. I'm sure each and everyone in this particular session who have logged in, the 539 participants who have logged in, while we treat the Ganges as the most auspicious and the divine river, imagine it has touched the Lord's feet. If that is so divine, imagine Bhagavad Gita is the song of God which has come from the lotus mouth of the Lord. So imagine how divine it is. That's the mood which we need to submissively carry while understanding. And Bhagavad Gita is a perfect theistic science because the supreme, sorry for that. Sorry for that.
So sorry, that was a fire alarm.
Yeah, those are the Adi Bhautik alarms which we have, which we will learn those different things in our upcoming chapters as well. Sorry for the fire alarm once again. Yes. So we were talking about the mood and about our Supreme Personality of Godhead. And in fact, Srila Prabhupada quotes about how one should study. We should study this particular Bhagavad Gita scrutinizingly. We should, in fact, go in depth of it, not just by what you call scratching the surface of this particular Bhagavad Gita. And how do we understand this, or how do we even learn this? We should understand this with the help of the devotees of Krishna through a proper disciplic succession, without any motivation for interpretations. We should not interpret on our own, or we should not concord on our own, and we should not go to YouTube just like that, randomly watch any channel. We will understand further in our third chapter and the fourth chapter, what are the various paramparas where one can understand from and where we belong to. As I said, we belong to the Gaudiya Vaishnava parampara, right? So we will understand. This is what everything is mentioned. Now, the example of a clear understanding of Bhagavad Gita, it is given in the Gita itself, right? So that is exactly how Lord took the favor of Arjuna over here. And because of Arjuna, we are able to understand this Bhagavad Gita and learn the teachings of Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna, who directly heard from the Lord himself, right? So the benefits of such a study: one who studies Bhagavad Gita surpasses all the studies of Vedic wisdom and all the scriptures of the world, right? It is concised with all the Vedas and the Upanishads. This is the essence and the essence of particular Bhagavad Gita, and the highest essence, which we will learn a little bit later. I'm sure most of you will be or might be joining the sessions of our Bhagavatam sessions as well, which our Prabhuji takes in the early morning as well in the evening. This kind of teachings, we will not be able to find it elsewhere. That is the best part of Bhagavad Gita. With that mood, we will move further. Well, we can close this. We see here a picture as a car picture here. Why? We can take this. When we buy a car, we utilize the car or we drive a car with the help of the product manual or any particular manual as such. Similarly, Bhagavad Gita is our life manual, and it is a vast book. In-depth knowledge is required, or in-depth scrutiny is required for a systematic study of the Gita. It will take almost a year, but in 18 days, we will try to focus on the flows and the themes of all these chapters. We will try to give you as much essence we can, and later we can join, and you people can join and enroll for the other sessions as well. So the objective of these 18 days is to prepare one for a deeper study of Bhagavad Gita. Right, without talking any further, while we spoke a lot about Bhagavad Gita and its essence and what are the various modes that is required, right? We treat Bhagavad Gita as, we can consider Bhagavad Gita as a jewel box. Why it can be considered Bhagavad Gita as a jewel box? Because the first 6 chapters, that is 1 to 6 chapters, teaches about karma yoga. We will see karma yoga and various other yoga ladders. We will also learn what is yoga. Yoga is basically connecting to Lord. We will see all those definitions in the upcoming chapters. And from the 13 chapters to 18 chapters, we talk about completely, Bhagavad Gita talks about the Jnana Yoga. And the center part of it, which we see in this particular jewel box, which is a jewel or the diamond, that is nothing but the Bhakti Yoga. And Bhakti, without Bhakti Yoga, the Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga are like lifeless, or they are as equivalent to like they are dead, because Bhakti is like a rahasya or a very secretive, and bhakti can, the essence of this particular bhakti can only be revealed to pure devotees or devotees who surrender and would like to understand the mood of Bhagavad Gita. Unless we surrender to, or unless we surrender to a spiritual master and to the Lord, we will not be even able to understand Bhagavad Gita at all. And we will see that why bhakti is the essence of all the scriptures in the 15th chapter, Sarvasya Chaham Hridaya Sannivisto. We will see that. We do not want to quote that particular shloka at this point of time. Right. So generally, we do not disclose anything. The why we are using this particular term as a secret, bhakti yoga as a secret, because this secret cannot be revealed to mundane people. Right? If you have a mundane thought, we have our defective senses. We will learn about all these defective senses and what are the 4 defects that we have in the upcoming chapters. It cannot be revealed easily. That's exactly why we are trying to prepare this particular mood to understand bhakti. And Srila Prabhupada has given various teachings over here and divisions over here in terms of explaining how he has emphasized more on bhakti. Moving further, 5 topics, the main 5 topics of Bhagavad Gita are Ishvara, Kala, Jiva, Prakriti, and Karma. Please remember this, it's Ishvara, Kala, Jiva, Prakriti, and Karma, right? Jiva is, we are the tiny Purusha. Ishvara is the Param Purusha, is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then the Kala, which is the eternal time, and the Prakriti. Prakriti, just to give you an information, it's the material nature or the material modes, which we'll be learning in depth. And karma, I'm sure each one of us are aware of what is karma, but we will learn about in depth of karma. These are the 5 topics that one will learn from Bhagavad Gita. Moving forward, this is the divisions of Bhagavad Gita. There are totally 700 verses in Bhagavad Gita. If you people are curious to know, or in case you are already aware of it, there is only one particular verse which Dhritarashtra speaks here, and Sanjaya speaks almost like 41 verses. This is a bifurcation of the entire 700 verses. And Arjuna talks like 84 verses, and Lord Krishna speaks about 574 verses. Then with that, we will move forward over here in terms of Bhagavad Gita, which is the first verse. Dhritarashtra. So the first verse starts with questions and doubts. We will see that what are these questions and what are the doubts and what are the actions one would want to take here. Dhritarashtra vacha dharma kshetre kurukshetre samaveta yuyutsavaha mamaka pandavaschaiva kimmakurvata Sanjaya. Dhritarashtra said, O Sanjaya, after my sons and the sons of Pandu assembled in the place of pilgrimage at Kuruksetra, desiring to fight, what did they do? Right? He knows that they are going to the a place called as Kuruksetra, and he knows that they have assembled and they are desiring to fight. But still, he's asking a question to Sanjaya. So we should understand over here that there are 3 people who was this particular chapter, which is named as observing the armies of the battlefield of Kuruksetra. Primarily, we will talk about 3 persons who are observing the army here. One is Dhritarashtra through the divine eyes or the vision of Sanjaya. And the second one is Duryodhana, and the third one is Arjuna, right? These are the 3 people who are primarily observing the armies on the battlefield. Let's try to understand a little further of this particular shloka as to Dhritarashtra Vacha, right? Mamaka Pandavaschaiva, Kim Makurvata. What are these particular terms here? So Dharma Kshetre, which is being treated as a, here we have taken this particular analogy here. Dharma Kshetre, which is taken as a pure milk, which is unadulterated. And Mamaka Pandavas, the milk curdles here. How does the milk curdles here? When you try to add a particular regulator or some kind of a lemon, where our Dhritarashtra was trying to become he was like a lemon over here, where he tried to separate, saying Mamaka Pandavas. What exactly are these people doing? Kim Makurvata. This is exactly what he was trying to ask. Now, in this particular chapter, the chapter 1 repeatedly present about 2 themes here. Let us try to understand. The themes are the Lord's protection. and the Lord as an intimate servant, which we will see in the upcoming slides, which is Lord is like a Bhakta Vatsala. He's a servant of his devotees. And what is the Lord's protection? The devotees who surrender to the Lord and the Lord protects are assured, and the victory is also assured irrespective or regardless of any material odds, right? In this particular verse here, Dhritarashtra uses his specific words because Kuruksetra is treated as a pilgrimage place from time immemorial of the Vedic age. And it is also a holy place as well as a place of worship, even for not only for us, but for heavenly denizens. Why? Because there are various penances where there are various yajnas from time to time and time immemorial that has been carried out in that particular place. The word Mamaka, again, what did my sons do? He was very much partial only towards his own sons. So Dhritarashtra refers only to his own sons as Kurus. He does not treat the other part of the Kurus, that is the Pandavas, as the Kurus, and he separated them as their nephews or the Pandavas. But we should understand here, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is personally present on the side of the Pandavas. And wherever the Supreme Personality is present, it is assured that that particular team or that particular or the Pandavas will be definitely be virtuous, right? And also we can understand fear in Dhritarashtra's inquiry over here, why he is very concerned, because Dhritarashtra is fearful about the holy place. Why? Because his sons are not pious, just like the Pandavas are very pious. So he's wondering that it may influence his own sons to compromise, or he hoped that under the holy influence, the Pandavas may renounce their claim to avoid any bloodshed. That was his greatest fear. So here, Srila Prabhupada, if we go in depth about this particular verse, we will also understand that Srila Prabhupada used an analogy of weeding, a paddy field and a weeding, just like our Prabhuji has used in these particular slides as a milk and how it curdles to cheese. The paddy field will have a lot of weeds. So here, Dhritarashtra is using them as a weed and he separated them, but the plans of Lord Krishna is totally different here. He descended to this material world to remove or weed out all the unwanted plans like Dhritarashtra and his sons and Duryodhana, so that he can wipe out everyone. Moving on, let's go to the next verse, which is a third verse. Here we can understand that Duryodhana is trying to diplomatically ask this question. Pashyatam Panduputranam Acharya Mahatim Chamum Vyudham Drupada Putrena Tavasishyena Dhimata. O my teacher, behold the great army of the sons of Pandu, so expertly arranged by your intelligent disciple, the son of Drupada. Right? What is he trying to establish here from this verse? Right? What are we trying to see from this particular verse? Let us try to understand. Right? So Duryodhana diplomatically or politically, he's trying to act here. What is he trying to act? He's trying to go to his particular commander, that is Drona, and he points out that Drona, please do not make any mistake at all. What kind of mistake are we referring here? Because if we all remember, Drona has imparted the military secrets to the son of Drupada. Who's the son of Drupada here? We are referring Drishtadhyumna, right? Drishtadhyumna, who was born to kill Dronacharya. So he's going and telling him, please do not uncompromise, do not compromise on any of these things to Drona. Why? And also he's saying, please ensure, he's warning him, please ensure that there is no leniency at all. If there is any, then we're going to get into the defeat. So basically, let me try to again emphasize this entire first chapter is what you call placed in such a way where we see that we are getting into the preparation war. Then we're going to see the signs of victory for the Pandavas. Then we're going to see how Arjuna becomes a charioteer or the so-called Bhaktavatsala or the Parthasarthi of his devotees and how he tries to help his devotees. And we will also end up with what are the five, what you call reasons where we'll get into what are the five reasons where Arjuna will not be able to make any decision at all. This is what we will be able to understand from here. Right. Moving on, we will see Dhritarashtra and Duryodhana. What was the key lesson that we learned from this particular verses? He was almost like materially attached and insecure with all his decisions, and he was always unhappy. There was, whenever we are unhappy, there is always a fear of anxiety that keeps mongering within us. That's the key lesson that we learn from here. Right. Now let's get into the next slides where we see the ominous results of the Pandavas who are very confident over here. As we said, this was a preparation of the war. Then we see the signs of the victory. We're going to see the signs of the victory. But these were the ominous results which we're going to see here.
Nabhascha prithvim chaiva tumulobhyunanadayan.
The blowing of these different conch shells became uproarious, vibrating both in the sky and on the earth. It shattered the hearts of the sons of Dhritarashtra. Right? This particular verse clearly emphasizes how it shattered the the hearts of Dhritarashtra. Right? We will see that. And why the Pandavas were very, very confident. One primary reason being where Lord Krishna was on their side. And we will see the conch shells that are when they start blowing it. If we see the previous verse in this particular chapter, which passed by, Bhishma will only blow the conch shells just to pacify Duryodhana. But here the conch shells of Pandavas were so uproarious that it shattered the heart of the son of Dhritarashtra. But there was no heartbreaking on the side of the Pandavas, because Pandavas were very confident, as I said, because of Lord Shri Krishna. This clearly indicates and emphasizes that one who takes care and who takes shelter of Lord Shri Krishna, they will be out of all the calamities here. These were the signs of the Pandavas, which we see here. There are almost 8 to 9 signs of Pandavas. Lord Krishna's presence, Jayastu Pandaputranam, as a Rishikesha, who's the director of the senses and the mind. He is the director of the senses and the mind, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He's also the Madhava, who's the husband of the goddess of fortune, Bhagyalakshmi. So wherever the goddess of fortune is there, wherever he's there, goddess of fortune is also there. Then the third one, this is the third sign, is the transcendental conch shell, which is also called as the Shankhanada. That is Krishna's transcendental conch shell was Panchajanya and Arjuna's was Devadatta, while there were Shughosha, Manipushpaka, and so on and so forth. But these were the transcendental conch shells, that is Krishna's and Arjuna's. The divine chariot that was gifted by Agni Deva, or the fire god, specifically for this particular battlefield. And Hanumanji, who was there on Arjuna's flag as a Kapidhwaja. So wherever Lord Krishna is there, and Hanumanji is the greatest devotee of Lord Rama, be it Lord Rama, Narayana, or the Krishna, all these are the expansions of Lord Krishna. We'll see that further, one and the same. And the place that was chosen, which is Kuruksetra, which is a holy place, nothing can be as holy at that particular holy place. And the shattering of the hearts of the Kauravas, that's what we have seen as well. And Bhishma's pacifying conch shell, just to pacify Duryodhana and his team, that is Duryodhana and his rest of the brothers, because there was no chance of victory at all. That is what we can understand from these are the signs. Apart from this, there are other two signs as well, in terms of there are various references that are given once we get into the purport of Srila Prabhupada, where we can understand that the Gandiva, that is the Pashupatashtra that was given to Arjuna, was also divine Gandiva. Tyakta Jivita was also used. This is particular term that was referred by our what you call Duryodhana. It means these people are ready to die and they're going to die. So he was already aware that they're going to die. And if we recollect, and it was this particular war started on the Mokshada Ekadashi. That was another sign, auspicious sign over here. These were the signs of victory. Moving on, which we just saw, the key lessons: take shelter of the Supreme Lord, Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, and the faith determines fearlessness in the greatest of the calamity, right? Once we surrender to the Lord with complete surrender and the faith, and definitely there will not be any issue at all, because Lord himself comes down or descends down to deliver his devotees. Moving on, we will see here, Arjuna Vacha.
सेनयोरुभयोर्मध्ये रथं स्थापयमेच्युत यावदेतान् निरीक्षेऽहं योद्धोकामामवस्थितान् कैर्मया सह योद्धव्यम् अस्मिन् रणसमुद्यमे. Arjuna said, "O infallible one, please draw my chariot between the two armies, so that I may see those present here who desire to fight and with whom I must contend in this great trial of arms."
Right. So what was the uncertainty and the bewilderment of Arjuna? Let's try to understand here while we go to the almost the last slides, right? What was that particular confusion or uncertainty within Arjuna? Let us try to understand. Was Arjuna anxious to see, he was really anxious to see as to who are these leading men that are present here and who are desiring to fight? Let me try to see them. With our evil-minded Dhritarashtra. He was unable to digest that. Let me see them. That's exactly why he said, Senaya Rubhayor Madhye Ratham Sthapaya Achyuta. So, and also that's where he asked, can you please move the chariot in amidst the armies? He was, because the reason why he was asked is because he was forced to fight against his wish. So what am I talking about? He was forced to fight against his wish because of the stubbornness of Duryodhana. There were so many times they were requested not for a fight. If you remember, we discussed about giving 5 villages, but they were not ready. That's how stubborn they were, the Kauravas. And he was anxious to see as to who were the leading men present on the desirous to fight, just to please Duryodhana. And he was see as to also he wanted to see why they are so bent upon on fighting. And at the same time he also want to estimate the strength which he has to face, because although he was confident of the victory because Krishna is there on his side, he just want to estimate the strength of the army. At this moment he had no intention of peacemaking. That is exactly why he said just move closer. And here Lord is so merciful. Why is he merciful? He did not even hesitate to carry out the orders of his devotee, right? If we see, he was a charioteer. He's ready for any menial job. Why? Because as we just established and just we learned, he's already a pure devotee. Arjuna is a pure devotee, and the Lord will take any position as a Bhaktavatsala, as a Parthasarthi, whatever it is. He doesn't mind to do a menial job as well. That is how he's so merciful, and his why it's termed here as Achyuta, or the infallible who never fails at all. That's how he's termed here. So we need to understand the relationship between the Lord and the devotee is so sweet and transcendental here. And why? Because the Lord is always eager to serve his devotees no matter what, because that's how they obtain the transcendental pleasure, the divine pleasure in receiving the orders from his pure devotees. Right. So moving on to the almost the last slide over here, we'll see the turning point or Arjuna's 5 arguments as to why he did not wanted to fight, where he casts his bow down at the end after inspecting or after Sainya Nirikshan. Because of his compassion, right? Because of his compassion. There are various modes of compassion in terms of how a devotee will respond and how a non-devotee will respond. We can get into the in-depth of these particular topics about compassion once we get into the next level or the advanced Gita stages. But at this point of time, we need to understand the compassion. It was not only the compassion for his side, he was compassion for the enemy side as well. That is how a pure devotee is. because he's so unflinching. He has, when we say unflinching devotee, he has various good qualities. It is explained in the Shastras that a pure devotee comes up with various good qualities, where the devotee is very kind to everyone, never names, never even thinks bad about the enemy. He's always truthful, equal to everyone. He's always steady. He surrenders to Krishna. He's not influenced by the Lord's illusionary energy or the Maya. He's always merciful and friendly. So there are various qualities which we can understand. That's how he was very compassionate. Loss of enjoyment. What are we talking about? Loss of enjoyment. Even if he wins, there is no point in enjoying the kingdom, because everyone will be dead. All his grandfathers, forefathers, whoever is there, his relatives, everyone will be dead. So what is the point in enjoying the kingdom? And the fear of sinful reactions. What are we talking about? Fear of sinful reactions. Now I'm getting into the war, I'm doing my karma or whatever actions. Will it bind me for any sinful reactions? Those are the topics which we will learn or try to learn in depth in the upcoming chapters as well. Then the destruction of the family traditions. Destruction of the family traditions is where we are talking about, if everyone dies, what would the woman do? There is a loss of family traditions. And these are the 5 arguments which Arjuna will place in front of Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And the last one, which is indecision, that's where he's not able to make any decision. That's one of the argument which we're going to learn that tomorrow. But these are the questions which he will put forth in front of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he will cast his bow down. And we will see responses to all these particular questions in the coming chapter, that is tomorrow. Right. So this is the chapter summary which we saw, with various doubts and the questions in terms of Dhritarashtra and Duryodhana having many questions. We also saw the ominous results where when they were preparing for the war, right? And then we saw the various signs of victory. We almost saw 9 to 10 signs of victory with the conch shells, with the the Hanumanji on the flag, the chariot, so on and so forth, right? The Lord being available on the side of the Pandavas, that itself was a major sign. And we also saw how he was so uncertain. That's where he asked, can you move the chariot in the middle between the 2 armies? And he did a nirikshan over there, and he was bewildered, looking at all his people around, all his relatives around. And we also, what was a turning point, why he cast his bow down. This is what we learned today. Right, with this, let's chant the Mahamantra, and then we will get into the question and answer sessions here. Right? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, everyone.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Yes. So requesting everyone to raise questions, if any, that are related to this particular specific chapter, which is chapter 1, what we have learned. In case you have any other questions related to the upcoming chapters, we will take that, we will park that question, and we will try to answer those questions in the upcoming chapters.
Prabhuji, can we unmute participants with raised hands for their questions if they wish to ask directly?
Yes. Yes, Mataji, please go ahead.
Shailaja Mataji, I'm unmuting you.
Thank you very much. Sorry that my question is not very relevant to this one, but I just have office meetings on every Wednesday at this slot. So is there any other way that I can cover those classes?
Yes, if your question is there any other way where you can cover these classes? Yes, you will be with the help of our recorded sessions, or else the other way out is to see any other time slot, because throughout the day there are various time slots that are allotted for these sessions, but there are different speakers as well. I hope I was able to answer your question, Mataji.
Yes, you are. But where can I get the link of the recorded session, please?
Yes, immediately after this particular session, we will post it onto our YouTube channel, and we will share the channel, all the details. We have a wonderful admin team who are working relentlessly. Definitely, we will share these information to you.
I'll get it on WhatsApp group, I believe.
Yes, yes.
Thank you very
Mataji.
much. Yeah, that will do.
Hare
That will do.
Krishna, Hare
Thank you very
Krishna.
much.
Anvay Prabhuji.
Yeah. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare
Mata.
Krishna, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
We're feeling blessed actually, even to get a chance to attend this session. It was so, I mean, we're feeling blessed to learn about Prabhuji. You spoke out. We visited ISKCON temple so many times, but today we got to know so much about him and his great work. So thank you so much. And we really, we feel great that you all are spreading this Gita to everybody, people like us who have not studied it ever. So we really enjoy this 18 days, and it's going to be for several lives. This is going to be with us. This learning. Thank you so much. Means a lot.
All glories to our
Srila
Guru,
Prabhupada.
Srila Prabhupada and our gurus. And yes, as we started up the session, our acharyas, including our His Grace Namanishta Das Prabhuji, has been relentlessly working. As I said, he, according to me or according to us in this particular group, I'm sure our admin team also will agree. We have not seen what is day and night for our Prabhuji. So whenever you log in, be it at 4 in the morning or 3 in the morning, he's there, he's awake. You knock his door at evening 11 or 12, he's awake, irrespective of any particular time zone. Yes, and we are very lucky where we are learning his teachings and he's spreading across. I'm sure you will take this as a teachings and you will imbibe this into your life lessons as well. I'm sure you can join our Bhagavatam classes as well, Mataji, to benefit from these sessions.
I
Thank
have
you so
tears
much.
rolling down my cheeks as I listen to all of this. It's
Thank
as
you
if
so much.
Krishna is talking to us through you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mataji. All glories to a Guru and Gauranga. Thank you so much.
That condition of lockdown, you all are putting in so much of efforts. So only one thing I request is sometimes we miss out because of our travel schedules, any of the sessions because of network. So I think my query was resolved that we will get all the recorded sessions.
Yes, I see that there are certain questions that are there in the chat as well, whether slides will be provided. Yes, definitely we will share the slides and we'll be sharing the recorded sessions as well. In fact, we are very sorry we were not able to do the YouTube live. If it was YouTube live, immediately the recording would have been available, but never mind. We will ensure that the recording is available immediately after this particular session. Thank you so much once again, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. I have a question on chat.
Mhm.
What is from Manavalli Mataji? What is the meaning exactly related to bewilderment here in Bhagavad Gita?
Yes, what is the meaning of bewildered exactly means when it refers over here when we spoke about Bhagavad Gita? It's the typical or the English meaning if we see here is about confusion. It's not only confusion, the confusion and the various leading questions that it has put into Arjuna's mood, right? He was literally like impatient. He didn't know what to do. If we learn in depth about chapter 1, we will understand that he will start perspiring, his limbs will be, his hands will be shivering, the many and many things. He's literally like perplexed. He's confused and perplexed if we see the exact meaning of it. Arjuna was literally perplexed looking at the armies in the battlefield, saying, oh my goodness, I have to fight with my brothers, with my sisters, or whatever, with my what you call grandfathers, with my uncles and everyone over here. I cannot believe this. That is the exact meaning of bewilderment. For example, we also get bewildered at times. How can we relate this with our thing? Whenever we have an excessive attachment to anything, this is what we can understand from here, from a non-devotee perspective. Whenever there is an excessive attachment to any particular object, be it a relation or be it anything, that is where we get into the mood or a thought of bewilderment. And that is where the bewilderment we will learn tomorrow. One leads to another. Then that's where anger creeps in. Then the loss of memory creeps in, and that is why we commit mistakes and so on and so forth, which we will learn these series tomorrow. And also we will understand the body of chariot in depth in the upcoming chapters. I hope I was able to answer that, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Aruna Mataji is asking if already they are saying Dharma Kshetra means Dharma has won, then why are they fighting?
Okay. Dharma Kshetra means Dharma has won. Why are they fighting? Yes, the Dharma has won, but at the same time, as we understand, the Lord descended here to annihilate the miscreants. Dharma will only be won, or it will be completely won once the miscreants are totally wiped out. Till they are not wiped out, then it can't be called as a Dharma or the victorious. That's exactly why the war. Yeah, that is exactly why it is favorable to Dharma. You would want to add something else?
Yes, it's just that we have to understand that Dharma Kshetra means it's a place, it's a holy place where even the denizens, that is the people from the heavenly abodes, also feel that this is a place where a lot of penances and also yagya was any holy thing that has to be performed was performed in this place. We will see in the history that Brahmaji and also other heavenly abodes, people used to come to this place and they used to perform holy yagna, and that's why it's called Dharma Kshetra. So why is it favorable? It's favorable because only the Dharma will win in this particular location. For example, over here, Dhritarashtra thinks that, this is Dharma Kshetra, and because it's Dharma Kshetra, maybe that Arjuna and all their brothers might just think that we don't want to contaminate the holy place and we'll just move away, but it's not the case. Actually, it's the other way around. In the Dharma Kshetra, because Krishna is in favor and also Dharma will be on favor, Dhritarashtra is thinking that he will weed out Pandavas out of his family, but rather, since Krishna is along with the Pandavas, Srila Prabhupada mentions that the way Dhritarashtra thinks it's the opposite, that Krishna will be weeding out the Kauravas out of this place. That's how we need to understand for Dharma Kshetra. So it's not like we don't take actions. It's more of a we don't sit doing non-violence is not the one that what is required, but rather we need to say that when there is a violence required, yes, we have to take actions, and Krishna definitely helps in such a holy war.
Yes.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hope that clarifies.
And
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. And also, Mataji, I see certain questions in the chat from
Yes,
Vidya
Prabhuji.
Mataji, which says, why is the name Krishna and not Krishna? Well, that's a very good question, but just for our curiosity or understanding for the entire crowd here, Krishna is just a Sanskrit word which we have literally taken here. And Krishna is the English word. So there is no difference. It's the name and the form, everything are the same. It's just a Sanskrit term, Krishna and Krishna. Right. Moving on. Yes, any others who have raised their hand? Oh, there are so many.
Prabhuji, we have many raised hands. Can we take 3 raised hands and 3 questions that way?
Yes, yes,
like
please,
going
Mataji.
partly.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, yes.
Vinita Mataji, I'm unmuting you.
Yeah, I would like to ask that, it is said that, with the help of counseling nowadays, I'm just asking the relevant question, which is actually beneficial for today's generation. So is it like this, that if the counseling can, change the mind of a person, why it happened that the greatest Lord, couldn't able to counsel those people to make them right choice and, to correct themselves?
Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. Very good question, Mataji. So there is a particular reference in Kunti Suti, Maya Javanika Channam, right? So we are in this particular material world. When we are in this material world, we are covered with Maya, right? And we will see that how the Prakriti plays with us and how we are literally covered with Maya. And we are here since like time immemorial. We will see as a jiva how we are taking birth after birth. We are getting into janma mrityu jara vyadi. We will learn these concepts later. So just answering to your specific question, we are just illusioned. Now, why they were not able to understand? How come the devotees, that is the Pandavas, became devotees and they were able to understand, and these guys, the Kauravas, were not able to understand, or why he was not able to counsel? Because Lord does not force anyone. We should understand that Lord does not force anyone. For example, none of us forced you people to join this particular session. It is a free will. So Lord has given the free will to each one of us as a jiva, saying, this is what you have to do. We will understand tomorrow how he acts within us, as a Parampurusha, how he acts within us by giving proper instructions to us, right? But at the same time, he will not alter our instructions. We have to take our instructions. And in the upcoming chapters, in the 9th chapter and so on and so forth, we will see that there are 3 doers, right? Once we get into the 3 doers, we will understand this particular topic much further, Mataji. Hope I was able to
yeah, but I would like to ask you one more thing. Like, you mean to say who can't be corrected or who are evil, they should be killed?
Sorry, can you repeat that? Who are not able to?
If we can't correct the evil people, no, so they should be killed.
Yes, that is exactly how the karma is. It's that's how you are. A person who is going towards evil minded, they have their path. We will learn this from the 8th chapter and the 9th chapter as well. Ye yathamam, right? So whatever actions what we are going to do, you will get into that way, and that is exactly why the Lord.
Yeah, that's true. But people can change, you know.
Yes, but here
we have got example. We got example, like. So all it's depending on karma or the counselor who can counsel and let them be all right.
He counseled n number of times. If we see in Mahabharata, he counseled n number of times, Mataji. If we see, and finally he came back with saying, asking for, give me just 5 villages. Right? Nothing else I want, just 5 villages. But these guys were so illusioned in Maya, they were not able to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They were not able to understand what is right and wrong. They were the aggressors. In scriptures, it is written 6 kind of aggressors. If we get in depth of the topic, 6 kind of aggressors. Duryodhana was almost, he did all the 6 kinds, so he can be killed immediately.
Okay, thank you.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hari Bol.
Hari Kumar Prabhuji.
Yes. Hari Kumar here, from Hyderabad. So Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So actually, I should be really thankful to one of my advisor who stays in US, and she have shared me this link. So couple of weeks back. So I was really very much eagerly to know and to learn about Bhagavad Gita. Even 2 years back, I went to ISKCON's Hyderabad Sangeet Theatre. I bought Bhagavad Gita and I kept in my puja room. So, I was really, wanting to know what exactly the Bhagavad Gita. People, wants to know what is, people say that, if you read Bhagavad Gita, that is your life, how to lead the life in moreover the way, and what is your life, what is right, what is wrong, everything will be knowing by going through the Bhagavad Gita. I don't think that this COVID has created problem to all the people, because the COVID has given an opportunity to learn Bhagavad Gita through Zoom, what I feel.
Hari Bol, yes.
So it's really a great honor, and it's really great pleasure that I'm able to listen from such a kind people, Samba Shiva Prabhuji and Mamta Mataji. I'm so honored, seriously, I'm so blessed. I was thinking God has given this opportunity to me to know, to understand Bhagavad Gita, and by understanding Bhagavad Gita, what I should do and in my livelihood to my known people. And I was very excited. I'm becoming really emotional while talking to you, seriously. So
Hari Bol, Prabhuji, Hari Bol.
yeah,
It is all the Lord's arrangement. That's what we can say. So
yeah,
all these years, as you said, you have got the Bhagavad Gita, but you have not even seen the Bhagavad Gita. All of a sudden, from one of your associate, your colleague or your friend,
yeah,
now you are able to connect to us. It is
yeah,
all Lord's arrangement. So
yeah.
we were also over here for the last many years serving, but all of a sudden, that's how we were connected to our Namanishta Prabhuji, and we are serving here. As you rightly mentioned, Prabhuji, yes, it's really a blessing. In fact, we are really thankful to our Kovida, I would say, right? We are really thankful to our divine God, I would say. Maybe we can call him as our God, as a Kovida, because
Yeah.
because of him, we are able to sit here. As I said when we started the session, this might not be an ideal way of discussing Shastras. We would have discussed face to face, and we would have debated on it. But yes, we are taking this in the right spirit and learning. Now that you are on this, Prabhuji, please don't even fall out for it, or don't even miss out on this. Please join our sessions regularly. In case you are
Yes.
not able to join your sessions because we are in this material world, definitely we will be bound by the three modes of material nature, and we will have a lot of distractions. In case you have such distractions, please listen to our recorded sessions and keep joining these sessions and spread these messages to everyone as well. Thank you so much.
100%. While started the message, this session itself, I've shared the Zoom link to my known people.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Yeah, I'm telling that, you immediately, my sister, my known friends also, I shared this link. I'm telling, let you sit with your children, let them understand what exactly the Bhagavad Gita is. So let them know what exactly the God is, what is right and what is, wrong. And last, my company, my senior manager was also there, who is also, Prabhuji, in ISKCON abbots. So daily used to inject an idea of about the Bhagavad Gita, about listening, about Lord Krishna. So slowly that idea came in my mind. So to know more about God, to know about more about Lord Krishna and Bhagavad Gita and ISKCON, as well as Prabhupada, all these things. And I
Thank
have
you so
lot
much,
of doubts
Prabhuji.
actually, Prabhuji. But see, this is only the first day. So, I understand once we finish this 18 days, so 100% I can clear up all the doubts. I don't think that this is not right platform to ask doubts also.
Yes, so what we're going to do is, Prabhuji, as you rightly mentioned,
Yeah,
to clear all our doubts, apart from this, as and when immediately this 18 days course is complete, we're going to get into something called as Bhakti Vriksha.
yeah.
Okay, so keep an eye on this particular WhatsApp group. As and when the Bhakti Vriksha starts in, join over there. We will have a one-on-one sessions. All the questions will be answered. Do not worry about that. We have many Bhakti Vrikshas. Yes, and there is an extra added class as well. So do not worry about that. All the questions will be answered. As you rightly mentioned, there are various batches which we keep running, right from kids to adults and elders as well. So we can take advantage of all these sessions.
Yes, we're
Prabhuji.
planning for an extra session after the 18th day. The 19th day, we are planning to host only question answers, because we do see that many devotees are curious to ask only questions. So we will have one extra session only for questions. If interested, you can join that session, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much once again.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Yes.
Krishna Prabhuji. I will take up chat questions now, and then
Yes.
we'll go on to the raised hands.
Yes, surely, Mataji.
Nitin Prabhuji is asking, if Pandavas and their army were on the side of God, why did the Lord allow several lives being lost in the war?
Yes, we just answered this particular question. Why did the Lord allow certain lives on the battlefield of Kuruksetra? Very simple reason, because they have joined the evil-minded Duryodhana and Dhritarashtra. And we should understand, why does the Lord comes down to the material world? Why does he descend himself to the material world? We will learn that Paritranaya Sadhunam. We will learn this particular shlokas. He descends specifically for three reasons. One, to take care of his devotees, right? And number two, why does he again descend? Apart from taking care of his devotees, he wants to establish the religious dharmas. Whenever there is a what we call adharma, he would want to establish that. And number three, he want to annihilate his miscreants. We just discussed about that, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, we have a question from Abhinandan Prabhuji.
Mhm.
Why do we often chant Lord Ram too along with Lord Krishna? The world knows that both are the avatars of Narayana, but still why only Ram? Any reason behind this?
Yes, sure.
Yes,
Do you want to
actually,
take this?
both Ram and Krishna, both of them are same. They are both same personalities. Whereas we will be sharing. I have a small document on Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, where when we say that Hare, it's actually the energy of the Lord. So when we are engaging in Hare mantra, it's energy of the Lord, and Krishna, that is means it's all attractive person, and Rama means he is the source of the pleasure. So it's very beautiful to know that they're all the same personality. When we say Krishna, Hare, and Rama, all three of them, like me and my energies. If it's like me and my voice are same, in the same way Krishna and his energies. So Krishna, Rama, and Radha Rani, all three of them are like Krishna and himself, we can say like that. So we cannot say they are all different personalities, but they are all they're Krishna himself.
They mean the
So
supreme
they mean
pleasure.
the same. They mean the same. So to be for us to understand, we for our blunt senses to understand, we have to think that when we call Hare, it means it's Lord's energy, and when we say Krishna, it's the all attractive person, and when we say Rama, it's the source of all the pleasures.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Saksham Prabhuji is asking, please guide us how to surrender completely without any doubts in mind.
Please attend all 18. We would say that please attend all 18 days, and also you will see the series of sessions where there will be there is where levels of various levels of surrender that comes, and Arjuna does not take up completely until all his doubts are cleared. So all 18 chapters he will come up with many lovely doubts which are actually sitting even in our head. So until you're satisfied, please ask questions so that these doubts are cleared and you can completely surrender. That would be the right path.
Yes, and with your permission, if we can elaborate further or add further, this particular question itself proves that you have already surrendered. This particular question will not arise if you did not want to surrender. That thought itself has already awakened your dormant heart. So that is almost the first stage here. Hari Bol. Thank you so much.
Hari Bol, Prabhuji.
Hari Bol.
Prabhuji, we have a question from Prema Mataji. Is Narayana and Krishna the same?
Yes, is Narayana and Krishna the same? Yes, we will see how Lord Krishna expands into various manifestations and everything. I think we will cover that in 8th and 9th chapter.
In ninth to 10th chapter, we will have where we will be discussing about incarnations and the creation, which is the most interesting part. It's the first day, and I know all of us will be so excited to know about incarnations. But please wait at least till the 9th or 10th day, where all your doubts will be clarified about the incarnations. We will discuss more. Yes, Hare Krishna. Mataji, can we take some raised questions also?
Well?
Yes, Mataji. Mataji, can we take one last chat and then we'll raise?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
When Krishna very much knows war is inevitable, why did he make an attempt to go and request for 5 villages on behalf of Pandavas? Any higher or deeper meaning in this?
Yes, he always gives a chance to everyone.
He's very merciful.
So merciful.
Krishna is very merciful that he also is giving many chances even to those who are not very favorable to him. And he chastised even Duryodhana. He is equal to everybody. He chastised Duryodhana also many times just to give a chance. But if you see, even at the last moment, even they were not even ready to give very tiny one dot also. That was the what was pronounced, that even a single dot will not be given. So Krishna is trying to be merciful, but the other side is not. That's because he wants to try. He did try, however it does not work out. So from his end, we have to understand that there are sometimes these are the evils that are sitting even in our minds, that even if Krishna is so mercifully giving us so many chances to realize there is COVID around us, there is so many things that are going on around us, but we don't surrender. we will think that we are in a very happy place, even though we are not actually enjoying. The temporary happiness is what we look for, which is not actually recommended, is what we have to try to understand. It has to be related to our own practical application.
Right.
Thank
Quickly,
you.
we see the chat. Boya Mati has been asking question. Is there any specific time to read the Bhagavad Gita, or can we read whenever we wish to? Yes, whenever you have the mood, just surrender to the Lord and just open the book and read. But while you read, please ensure that you take the guidance of a spiritual master. Now, how do we take guidance of a spiritual master? You're already tuned into this particular channel. You will learn further in terms of how the spiritual master you can identify. Then we see from Ronit Day as well, how much is the teachings of Bhagavad Gita relevant in this Kali Yuga, and how very much. If you remember, we started off with this particular topic where we said, how is Bhagavad Gita relevant now? It's like this was like ages before, 5,000 years before. Why are we even learning right now? It's very much relevant to our Kali Yuga, because the way the yuga passes or the cycle passes, almost 50%, 50%, 75% we depreciate. What does depreciate? All the good things depreciate. And just like there were good and evil during that times, within our hearts there is good decisions and evil decisions as well, right? So that is exactly how it is very relevant, and that is why we have to take the chanting of the Lord's name. Yes, we can go back to
Yes,
hands
Hare Krishna,
raised.
and
Prabhuji.
Hare
thank you,
Krishna.
Mataji.
Radhika,
Hare Krishna. Mataji,
yes,
just in the
Mataji.
interest
Yes,
of time,
Mataji.
we will keep the answers and the questions short, so that I'm sure all the questions will be repeated later on. But since all of us, I just want to, just put a disclaimer that there will be many things that will get answered in the future
Yes,
classes.
yes, yes,
So please
yes.
don't be disheartened if the questions are not answered. Please stay on, and all your questions will be automatically answered in the next few chapters. Yes, Mataji, please go
Yes.
ahead.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Radhika Mataji, you are unmuted. You can ask, please.
Yeah. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare
I
Krishna.
just, first of all, I will not take much time of you all. So I just wanted to thank you all, and I'm just thank to God that before lockdown, I just wanted to go to ISKCON temple to learn Gita ji and all. I heard that they are teaching on Saturday, Sunday basis, something like that. But because of COVID, it not happened in the last year. But now I'm thankful to you people that you arrange online, and I'm thankful to Corona, because whatever I'm getting in this time now, even I cannot explain you. Sorry, become little emotional to seeing you all, but.
Mataji, we
Hari bol.
understand.
We
We understand,
understand. Our
Mataji,
thoughts and
because
prayers are
yeah,
as
our
well.
thoughts and prayers are with you, because this is one time that COVID situation has been actually a blessing for everybody, that they're able to receive
Yes.
this knowledge. And one thing that we all have to remember is, it's now that we have got this prasad from Krishna, we have to
Yes.
hold his lotus feet hard, tight, so that we don't leave his lotus feet. The one thing that is the most difficult part, because Maya always tries to distract us. So please stay with us, so that we can serve you more and more. And also Krishna is more pleased when the devotees are served. So
Yes,
please stay
always
with us.
remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. Always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. These are the two things. Always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. That's it, Mataji.
Thank you very much, Mataji. Thanks a lot for expressing your feelings. Thanks a
Yes,
lot.
we
Hare
have
Krishna.
Bhuvaneshwari Mataji as well.
Bhuvneshwari Mataji is unmuted.
Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna.
Hare.
Earlier, actually, Hare Krishna. I'm thankful to you. A very nice flow. And earlier also, I have joined this course. That time, the teachables was there. On every chapter, no, there is a question is given. This time, that link is not given. That I just want to know.
Yes, Mataji, we just have a
Whether you
small
are
technical
this
glitch,
time also
but
it is
it is
available.
resolved.
We will be sharing
it soon, Mataji.
Mataji, we cannot give the teachable link
Because
before
that was very interesting actually.
Wait, Mataji, we cannot give the teachable links before the class. Class is starting today evening only.
Correct.
We cannot
Correct.
give the teachable links before the class.
Yes.
All
So
the devotees should wait. Okay.
Yes.
All
So
the devotees are asking only for teachable things. They should start doing the teachables after the class, not
Yes,
before
Mataji.
the class. Yeah.
We are all very happy that you're all so curious to learn, and we are very thankful that you're all spending so much time even on teachables, even on the quizzes. Thank you very much, Mataji. But please do wait, maybe today or tomorrow once.
because we started
Yes.
the particular class, I'm definitely, our
Yes.
team will be sharing the teachables link.
Yes, our admin team is very active. They're posting everything required for all the tools and ammunitions required for all of you to learn well. Please wait for some more time, Mataji. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Shailaja Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare
So we
Krishna.
spoke about devotees have to be compassionate and struggle for existence of the violence, and also about law of karma. So in instances, I mean, like in our daily life, wherein we will meet competitors, maybe in our office or in our families or relative circles like that. Maybe a case of a devotee and then a non-devotee. And when there is a violence, when say for instance, two people fighting for one seat between a devotee and then a non-devotee. So how should we, being devotee, deal with that situation? Should we be compassionate to the other person? Should we struggle for our existence? Or or should we be afraid of law of karma and then just keep quiet and not do anything? How do we really go about it?
Yeah, that's a very good question in terms of compassionate. Yes, a non-devotee will be compassionate in terms of his material attachment, in terms of his insecurity, or in terms of his fear or anxiety. But however, a devotee will be compassionate in terms, be it with his own people or be it with his what you call, with his enemy. Now, coming back to this particular specific question in terms of, I think you are trying to ask in terms of a loss of job, or what exactly is the point we are trying to arrive here, Mataji?
It can be in terms of anything, maybe like a competition in office, or maybe some issues at home, when two people are fighting for one thing, like how Pandavas and Kauravas were fighting for the kingdom, while Kauravas were not like absolutely wrong. They felt, being cousins, they also deserved the kingdom and they were fighting for it, while Pandavas truly deserved it. So same way, there may be an illusion that two people think they deserve it, but we don't really know who truly deserve it. And yeah.
Yes,
So
Mataji. Mataji, I would like to add a very spiritual context over here to answer this question. When we are not into devotion, when we are not into devotional service, we are actually confused. When we are actually into Maya. So when we take up devotional service, especially when we start our Bhagavad Gita, we actually start learning what exactly is right and wrong. And you will not believe it, the moment you start chanting,
It'll
you'll have
automatically
more
purify.
clarity. Yeah, you'll have more clarity in life as to where exactly I should be making a choice, how exactly I should make a choice. So the most important part is you have started to listen to Bhagavad Gita now. Stay with us. There are so many questions that Krishna will be resolving, and this will be related. This will be connected to your real life examples as well. So when we go forward with real life example, like for example, we had key lessons that we learned to our own life today. Like that, it will be connected, and you will be able to automatically find your own answers. So one thing is that you're listening to Bhagavad Gita, it will resolve all your questions. Second thing, it also, one thing is, second thing is that you'll have to start chanting, which will help us. Krishna reciprocates. So when you start chanting, Krishna reciprocates, and you will find answers on your way to chanting, Mataji. So we highly recommend that you start chanting, because you are so inclined to know about Krishna and Krishna, his words, and also his opinion. So this way you'll be able to resolve the question and answers on your own.
Yeah, you will automatically get those 26 good qualities of a particular devotee, where the devotee will not be illusioned by any of this material Maya. He will be merciful. He'll be friendly with anything. He'll be able to take a right decision in terms of what is right and what is wrong. The devotee will never take anything for a material benefit at all. We will understand this further when we get into chapters of like karma yoga and jnana yoga and so on and so forth, Mataji.
Yeah, and at the same time, I'm not saying that because you're dealing with the devotees and non-devotees, you can be the same. We cannot be the same, because devotees always think para dukho dukhi. So he will think that I don't want to cause harm to others. This is what when somebody is in devotion or bhakti, they don't want to harm others, or they don't want to think anything incorrect about others. But when you're not into devotion, if you're dealing with non-devotees, there is a different way that you have to be keeping it very straight to the business, and you cannot enter too much into what is you cannot be very friendly with them. You have to keep it a bit straightforward, so that they don't walk all over us and take disadvantage of certain things. So these are certain things that will also get clarified, and also the learnings will come from Krishna himself. Hope that answers, Mataji.
Thank you. Maybe not completely. I'm not personalizing this question, but then I think this is something that everybody will come across in their day-to-day life.
Yes, definitely.
Yes, to be very clear, we cannot deal with the same way how we deal with devotees and non-devotees, because devotees, they want to do good to others. They don't even need to be prompted. But in case of non-devotees, you have to take a precaution on how much is my work, and I need to finish that much work, and then do not exceed the limits of discussions further.
Yeah, we will see in the upcoming chapters as well. This is a very elaborative subject. For example, there are various modes of charity. If I get into this particular topic, there will be leading questions,
yes,
which I do not want to divert the session. So a devotee will be able to take a decision in terms of what is the actual charity that I should do.
Yes.
But however, a non-devotee will think any charity that I'm doing is good. Right? We will learn that further, Mataji.
Got it. So just sticking by to struggle for existence, when we deal with non-devotees, should we also worry about law of karma?
Anything and everything you have to worry about law of karma, Mataji, because the first 6 chapters, we will actually start talking about karma and everything from 2nd chapter onwards. What is my prescribed duty, and what is my bodily duty, and also what is my soul's duty. So we don't want to break the just to say we are having something called as prescribed duties, and also personal duties, that is the bodily duties, and also our soul's duties. So you will be able to get more clarity on what are my duties, that is as a body, and since I have taken this birth, and also what are the duties of my soul, which belongs to Krishna. So you'll get more clarity after listening to this chapter, and then we can further discuss about how we can deal with the situations, Mataji.
And
so the karma yoga clearly starts coming, taking its shape in the 3rd chapter, but in 2nd chapter you will get a clue on what exactly are the duties itself.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Trust us, you will experience this, and you will not even have to take a decision in terms of if this is the right thing or the wrong thing. It will automatically
it gets clarified
happen.
completely.
Yes. Okay, all right, thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Please join us tomorrow also.
Sure.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Well, we would love to take all the questions over here, but we do not know how much time we have. Okay, we'll ask
Kalpamai Mataji.
Hi, Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, I don't have like specific questions regarding this chapter, because obviously, I don't have much knowledge to actually share and ask questions, but I'm really, really fortunate to get this opportunity to be part of this discussion. And I never thought that I will get this kind of opportunity actually, and staying at home and having a live discussion and getting the questions answered, and especially the Bhagavad Gita. Because my father used to, like when I was a child, my father, he was a devotee. I mean, I lost my father, it's been five years now. And he was a devotee, and he used to build temples. And I used to go with him and learn lots of sloka and everything, without knowing what are the impact in our life, without even understanding the meaning of the slokas. But the time I grew, and I'm also getting emotional because I'm thinking about my father. The time I grew and I started my family, and I got to know that how much impact it gets in your life, and how you can able to implement, and how much peace it will give in your life actually. And when I actually saw this one on Facebook, the Indian ladies in UK, they shared this one. I was so, as soon as I saw this one, I just clicked the link and I just get in, and I'm so blessed. And you both are full of knowledge. And thank you so much for
Mataji, we all think that, I went to Facebook and I just clicked and I got this. It sounds very, very accidental, but actually everything is Krishna's plan, Mataji. Nothing is accidental. everything is Krishna's plan. We have all done something together in the past which is more spiritual, and that's why we're all here as the Lord's plan, and we are able to receive this knowledge. And this is not coming from the material world, this is all spiritual. So it's not like we can accidentally get into this. We have all done something which is good in the past, and that's how we are able to get to meet the devotees like you, who is, whose parents have been into constructing temples, which is extremely good. So please stay connected. I'm so happy to hear this.
Now that you're connected, please connect others as well and stay connected with us, Mataji.
Definitely. Thank you so much. I will definitely share with my family. And
Yes.
also, you won't believe it, I'm just logged into my work. I'm working from home as well. My one screen is logged into work and doing the work. At the same time, I'm listening from my mobile. So it's just multitasking. As you said, it's a materialistic life. We can't able to like help, but we can just find some time to spare our time in a good way. So that's, thank you so much. Thank you so much for arranging all this.
Hare
Thank you.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Mataji. We have a few raised hands and a few questions. What to do now? How to go ahead?
Please go ahead with the raised hands, Mataji.
We
Yes.
can go ahead with the raised questions as well,
Yes.
raised hands as well, and the questions. We
Okay,
don't
okay,
mind.
okay. Shrikant Prabhuji, please ask.
First of all, please accept my namaskaram to Swamiji and Mataji, everybody. I'm very blessed to for these next coming 18 days with you. I'm very grateful to be with you, Swamiji and Mataji. I have a small doubt. Earlier we start with Panchadatta and Lord Krishna's Mahamantra and everything. I'm very happy. Swami, I have a doubt. Gandiva, especially Gandiva. Gandiva is prepared by Lord Brahma. We are not discussed it, but you told about Gandiva. Gandiva is prepared by Brahma with 4 heads now, Swamiji.
The Gandiva, the reference which I was giving in this particular chapter was about the bow of the bow of Arjuna. So that was given as the Pashupata was given, and the Gandiva was given over here by Lord Shiva.
Yes, Swamiji.
Yes.
And everybody is saying that which one is most powerful? I mean to say Vijay Bhava is powerful or Gandiva is powerful?
Sorry, what was the other name did you say, Prabhuji?
Vijay Bhava, who is carrying by Karna. Vijay Bhava.
That we are not sure. We will see. Maybe we will review that, and we will get into the references of the scriptural references, and then we will able to share you, Prabhuji. I hope that's fine with you.
And one more thing, I'm very happy to share with you. My kid who don't know how to speak in my regional language, today he sit with me and he learned each and everything whatever you shared, like how to do chanting and everything. Now today, not today, maybe tomorrow onwards we start our Srila Prabhupada ji chanting and everything, and Hare Rama Hare Krishna chanting also we will start tomorrow itself, because now the time is Haribol. Now he gone for sleep. Actually, we waiting to talk with you from last 1 hour, Swamiji. Especially the session has been.
We are very sorry. There are so many participants, and we feel sorry as well, because right now, if I see our admins who are there, our admins are so, I would say, wonderful and merciful. It's not just flattering them. It might sound as if we are flattering them, but they are doctors over here who have done their morning job, and they are waiting in the queue and trying to serve our devotees. So that's how we are trying to say we are. Yes. So we are very sorry if it took time. We are trying to address as much as we can. Thank you so much.
Me and my son are very blessed from you and all Matajis. I just want to do a sastanga namaskaram to all the people, to you. Haribol. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama
Rama, Rama Hare Hare. I'm the devotee of Lord Krishna from so many years, Swamiji, and Lord Krishna is also developing. Means he has to prepare a world to us. I'm waiting to go for the world. Lord Shiva's world.
Prabhuji. Please connect with us and stay connected. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prabhu. You just mentioned that you also have a child who would like to connect. There is a children class that we also have during the day, And it's during the morning 6 a.m. and we also have 5 p.m. and 7 p.m. batches for children if you wish to join.
Thank you so much. Okay, we'll go to the next person, Shri Vidya Mataji.
Hare Ram, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Sorry if you
Krishna.
waited for longer as well.
Hare
I see the
Krishna,
hands are
Mataji.
raised. Please go ahead with
No,
your
I'm blessed. I'm blessed, and I'm no issues waiting. You know, it's a blessed feeling that I'm a part of this session. So actually, my doubt is I don't think it's inclined to straight Bhagavad Gita, I mean Mahabharata, but still I would like to ask, like in summary, how would you say having Krishna supported Pandavas, and what is he trying to say the whole, in a summary?
So,
Mataji, to begin with, to start with the summary, we need to understand what exactly is required for us. Here we have to understand that Sri Krishna himself is in everyone's heart. And here we have to first understand that Arjuna is not somebody who doesn't know everything. It's not like that. We have to understand Bhagavad Gita in the mood of that Krishna is merciful, that he wants to give this Bhagavad Gita to the generations that are going to come. So Arjuna knows the entire science, and when we are accepting the mood of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is giving this song of Gita so that we benefit from all the doubts that we have in our minds. So in the next 18 days of journey, you will see various questions that Arjuna puts across to Krishna. And these are the questions like Mataji asked about karma today. So these are the questions that we have in our own minds. So he keeps
for the benefit of
destroying.
us.
Yes, he keeps destroying these doubts in our own minds so that we are able to destroy these small doubts in our head and we surrender to Krishna. And that's the only way we can go back to Godhead.
Okay, sure. Thank you so much.
It clarifies, Mataji.
Sure. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. We have 3 questions related to the same theme. So I think we should take that question. We have that question in the chat. I will read that question.
Sure.
With the first question is, without Lord permission, nothing will happen. And why did Mahabharata war happen? The second question is, if Krishna can do anything, why didn't he change mindset or do magic with Duryodhana mindset to guide? And the third question with same theme is, who has given evil mind to Duryodhana? Is it not Lord Krishna?
Yeah.
Yes,
Prabhu,
we have
to
seen that
answer-
there is another question as
Yeah.
well. The Supreme Almighty could have a foresight about that incident and the outcome of this particular incident. How come he was responsibility to improve the person and the mind? Yes, these are almost the similar questions. Yes, Prabhuji. So we can answer these particular questions.
Yes, to begin with, the main thing that we have to understand is Krishna is merciful. At the same time, we have to understand that he gives us minute independence. So that minute
And he never
independence-
forces us.
Yes, he never forces things on us. So when we want to, even if he wants to, he can convert all of us to his devotees and take us back to the spiritual world. But no, it has to be coming from our own will. That will should be coming from our own hearts that we love Krishna. When we know that we love Krishna, he is more happy, and that's when that's when he wants us to reciprocate that, I personally love Krishna, and that's what he enjoys that. When we are doing any errors, like a father, exactly like a father, what do our fathers really look for? They don't want us to go and tell them I love you just because they force us. They want us to be loving him without any without any ifs and buts. He just wants us to be loving on our own. So this is the sweet independence that he gives us, and we have to make use of this independence that, I want to give my service, I want to surrender to Krishna, has to come on their own. And that's why he doesn't convert. It's not like I can go say Duryodhana, just I can change his mind and then I can take him back.
Yeah, and in fact, he has
That's not
given
how.
many chances. He tried to eradicate the evil-minded Duryodhana by giving many chances.
Yes.
Finally, he gave a chance. He came as a messenger saying, give them 5 villages at least. But still they did not. So what more are we expecting here? This is exactly what we will not be able to understand until we get into that particular mood. So the Lord Krishna will never alter or will never even change our mood in such a way because he has given that minute independence. He does not force, saying, "Come, do serve me." He will not say that I'm the supreme personality. Just come and do serve me.
And one more thing over here mentioned by the Prabhu, Rohit Prabhu, is that he can foresight any incident. Yes, some people misinterpret this. When we say foresight, it doesn't mean that everything is pre-written. No, everything is not pre-written. The actions are actually taken by us. Based on our action, our karma gets decided. So that doesn't mean that Krishna knows that this is going to happen. No, nothing is exact on that level. But at the same time, it depends on our own action, which we deliberately have to take properly in good ways. If we are taking good actions, the goodness
Our
will
next
come
body
out.
is being prepared.
Yes, that good. If we take good actions, our actions will be determining the good reactions. If not, it's going to be bad. So we can't say we can foresight this is going to happen. Maybe I will change my mind and I will become bad, or if I change my mind, I might become good. So we have to understand it that way. We cannot foresee anything. It's all because of the jiva, how it thinks and how it acts.
Yeah, it's this is also the same reference of the question. Is Vivek Prabhuji is asking, is future pre-written or it evolves? Yes, it depends. Just now what just Mataji said, our future is pre-written according to our actions that we are doing. Our next body will be formed based on the actions that we are doing right now, yesterday, and tomorrow. So we still have time. We as a jivas, we have still right now we have a time. Now that we have plugged into this particular session, make use of this particular session. Start chanting.
Yes.
Chanting is the key in this particular Kali Yuga. Chanting is the only way out. Always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna. Pick up the chanting bag and start chanting. It will automatically cleanse our sins. Any other questions which are in references to that, Prabhuji and Mataji?
Not
No,
connected,
Mataji.
Prabhuji. There was a question on soul. We can take, if you say we can take it tomorrow,
No,
then that's
we
the
can
chapter
take soul
on.
in second chapter.
Yeah, Akanksha Mataji has raised hand. If you
Yes.
want to take a last, we can. I've unmuted her.
Yeah, it's already 11. We can take one question. Akanksha Mataji, please ask this question quickly.
Hare Ram, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, so my husband has a question he wants to ask. Yeah.
Sure,
Hello.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare
Please.
Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare
I
Krishna.
just have a simple question. Since we are starting our journey with spirituality with Bhagavad Gita sessions, I just want to ask, who is man? And second thing is, what is the purpose of life?
Hare
Hari
Krishna,
Bol.
Prabhuji. Very
You
nice
have
question.
come to the right path, Prabhuji. Who is man? We are jivas. We are, if I have to answer, we are the jiva. We are the tiny part and parcel of the Lord. We will learn this in the upcoming chapters. And what is the purpose of the life? Just to answer this particular question, which you will learn elaborately, our purpose of the life is nothing but just to serve the Lord.
Okay.
Hope I
Because
was
I
able to answer your question.
accidentally happened to see the first stanza of the Bhagavad Gita. That is, it starts with saying that Dharmakshetra, Kuruksetra, Samaveta, Yutsava, something.
Yes.
And the last line of the Bhagavad Gita ends with Mama.
Dharma, Mama Dharma.
So when you combine the first letter of the starting letter of the Bhagavad Gita and end letter of the Bhagavad Gita, it says Mama Dharma.
You're
So
talking about the 18th chapter, last verse, Prabhuji?
yeah, the 18th, the last word of the 18th stanza ends with Mama.
Okay.
First word of the Bhagavad Gita starts with Dharmakshetra, Kuruksetra.
Mhm.
So when you combine these two, it is something to do with Mama Dharma.
So,
if you
well,
can,
there are various references and there are various dependencies that we can or one can connect it. But now that you would want to understand in terms of Dharmakshetra, how it unfolded, that's where the Dhritarashtra's first question, where it has unfolded. Yeah, that is how it
correct,
is.
correct.
And you're talking about Yatri Yogeshwara, you're talking about that particular shloka, if I'm not wrong, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yatri Yogeshwara Krishna.
Yes, wherever Lord Krishna is there, that's where it's all auspicious. Yes.
Correct.
That was his opinion. That was Sanjay's opinion, which he was trying to say. So if we are trying to connect it, maybe we can connect it, but there is no as such connection or references. Maybe there might be a reference, Prabhuji. with our little knowledge, there is
because
no particular topic. It starts with
yeah,
and ends with this.
in a day-to-day affair, we come across so many situations. As I forgot the person's name a few minutes back, they were like, there was a example of how we should behave. So in that context, the dilemma which we face is something called a facet of truth, like a multifaceted of truth. Like if I, for example, simple thing of keeping a glass of water on top of table may be a correct act according to me, but whereas the opponent, my wife, may feel that the keeping the glass of water on top of table is the wrong thing. So it's all depends on how you see things. So that's when I was asking, who is man? What is the purpose of life? Because when we go through this Bhagavad Gita, how exactly we can come across, or how can we solve this dilemma?
Yes, so we are very anxious and curious to understand. That's very good. With the same inquisitiveness, we can understand all these concepts by surrendering to a spiritual master and also learning the Shastras. We will learn in the next 18 days, and then we will be able to connect one after the other. Prabhuji, you'd want to add something?
Yes, also Prabhu, if you're thinking that, according to you, this is correct, and according to somebody who's with you is incorrect or something, the opposite of that. But what we do from our own senses, what I might do or what Shiv Prabhu can do, it could be different. But all that we all do has to be justified by end of the day by Krishna's plan.
Yeah, we will learn about that
Yes.
we as a material in this material world, we come with 4 defects. Our senses are imperfect, right? I can give the answers here, but it will what you call
It's
extend
okay.
our session,
Yeah.
right?
So what happens is, because of our imperfect senses, we can't understand what is the ultimate plan. So Krishna gives the ultimate plan. When we go with his plan, we are
And
able to
understand the
satisfy
scriptures.
everything. Yes, we are able to satisfy everything. So he knows, he's in everything. So he knows what is right, what is wrong. So when you surrender, he shows the right directions automatically, and he reciprocates that you need to take certain directions as per his own plan. So when we again we'll be emphasizing the same, that when we start chanting, all of these doubts, that am I doing the
Automatically
right
will get
thing,
cleared.
is he doing the right thing, or is other person's doing the right thing, all these things keep getting much more, the mirror keeps getting clearer and clearer for us to see the direction properly.
Okay, thank you.
Hare
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thanks a lot.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna.
Okay, it's almost like 11:40. Sorry,
11:10. Yes,
yeah,
11:10.
We are okay to take the questions.
We are okay to
but-
take questions,
but it's
Mataji,
late
but
for
it will
you.
be very, very late for you people.
Mataji, if you
So
wish
we
to leave, you can leave also, because it's late for you. We don't mind taking the questions. If there is anything on the chat, let us know, because we don't know if there is something on
We
the
have 2 raised hands and we have 2 questions on chat. Can I take the question on chat?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes.
On the same context, if there is good and bad, then why can't, when God creates us, why can't He give us the good quality to all of us as a default quality, so that it's not overridden in any circumstances in our lifetime? And in
Yeah.
continuation, whether a devotee with bad habits or a non-devotee doing good things are close to God?
When we see the good and bad, and when we see these things, these are actually our world is actually created as a reflection to the spiritual world. So there has to be, if we are just having good all the time, there is nothing that we will know that this world is bad. So Krishna has made this world in such a way that this is actually a jail. It's a huge jail that is created for us, so that we revive all our consciousness, we purify ourselves, and we should just go back to Godhead. So Krishna has made this
This is
jail
a
is what.
Dukhalayam.
Yes, Krishna refers this place as Dukhalayam. First thing is it is Dukhalayam as in its place of misery, and it's Ashashvatam, means it's actually temporary also. So we should understand in this way that I don't want to live in this place because it's temporary and it's also having so many miseries. So why can't always be good? when we have always good, we'll think that this place is good. Let me just stay over here and settle over here. No, we don't have to settle. You want to settle in a place where it's always good and happy place. Go back to the spiritual world and serve Krishna. Automatically, everything, even this place will become a happy place. Always good, good, good if you just start serving.
Yeah, and we are here since we don't know for how many years. It's for how many births we are here. And why are we here in this particular material world? It's because of our free will. We chose to. Because we were so jealous about the Lord, we were wondering, oh, the Lord is only lording over everything. Let me also enjoy here. And that's how we chose to come to the material world.
Hope
Yes,
that
Mataji.
clarifies
I
if
think
there is.
Prabhuji,
Yes.
Mataji, can I please leave? I have to go to hospital at 7:30 in the morning.
Yes,
Please
Mataji,
go
you
ahead,
please go.
Mataji.
Please don't mind. It's okay, no? Will you manage it? It is, or I'll wait for 10-15 minutes and we'll finish and go.
No,
Anyhow,
no,
you
no, no,
can.
no, no. You please
Not
go
at
ahead,
all,
Mataji. We
Mataji.
will
You and
carry
Ravi
on.
Prabhuji, please go
Yes,
ahead.
Ravi Prabhu, or even if there is any other admins on the team, please go.
We only two of us were there. Because if I would have to go later, I would wait. Otherwise,
No
Please
issues,
go ahead,
Mataji. No
Mataji.
issues.
Thank you so much.
Mataji, those were the
thank
only
you.
questions on the chat,
We will
right?
see the chat. We will see the chat as well. There are
Okay, okay.
yes.
Okay,
Thank you.
Prabhuji.
Please,
Okay.
Mataji, please go ahead.
Thank you. Wonderful session, Prabhuji and Mataji.
Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Mataji.
All
Thanks a
glories
lot.
to our
All
Guru and
glories to
Gauranga.
Guru and
Thank you so much
Gauranga.
for all the support.
Yeah, thanks a
Mataji.
lot.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Mataji, thanks
Hare
a lot
Thank
for
you.
the support, Ravi Prabhu, if you're leaving also.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare
Thank you.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay, we'll yes, Anup Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah, actually, I posted a question on the chat whether a devotee with doing all the bad things and or a non-devotee doing good things are closer to God.
Yes, anything and everything are closer to God. If you take it, such an instance, a devotee doing bad things. If the devotee is doing bad things, that many ways he will fall down. We will see various examples while we learn through these particular chapters. And a non-devotee doing good things, he will see the path. He is doing good things. When we say good things, is it again related to devotional service? That's what we need to understand. There are various people who term stating, yes, this is the good act that I'm doing. As just now Mataji and we were trying to explain, with our imperfect senses, there are we as in the material world, we jivas carry with 4 defects. We might think that something is good. According to me, that is good, but according to you, that might not be good. So yeah, so it depends on what is that good and what is that bad. We need to understand through the Shastras and through our sadhus, our spiritual master.
Okay, so we have to take both in a balanced way.
Yes, we will be only able to understand what is good and what is bad once we take up the Shastras and once we take up the spiritual master and try to start with the chanting and try to understand. We will understand the deeper concepts of it, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Pradeep Prabhu. Pradeep Prabhuji, please ask your question.
Prabhuji and Mataji, very, very good evening.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna. Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Hare
I
Krishna.
can't tell you, Prabhuji, how happy I am today to just see you around and giving you and answering all the questions so patiently. I'm so happy and proud of you. Really.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Sorry if we kept you waiting as well. All glories to our Guru and Gauranga.
Mataji, see, just to see you glowing and answering every question so patiently, it's give immense pleasure to all of us. To be very honest with you, my brother and father, they are devotees from last 14 years, but the kind of joy I'm getting today, see, to be very honest with you, in the lockdown period of last 1 year, watched so many web series, watched so many films, but the kind of happiness I'm getting today, right? I watched other program by 7 o'clock, right? 7 p.m. and from 7 p.m. till 11 o'clock, my Zoom meeting is continuously on. I have attended two, and the kind of happiness I'm getting, to be very honest with you, I'm so happy. And I promise you all, I would be in touch with all the devotees and in Bhagavad Gita. I would be starting to read Bhagavad Gita now on. right? I have never listened to my father, I've never listened to my brother who are devotees, but the kind of experience I'm getting just to see you people answering so patiently, right? Amazing. Just one word, amazing, Prabhuji. I'm so happy.
It
Prabhu,
all
yes, it's all the mercy coming from our gurus that we are able to have this energy, and it's all something that gurus are giving it to us. And also, it's not like we are doing anything, we are not doing anything patiently. It's all gurus who are giving us this energy, is what we can say.
And while we think that this particular platform is just a platform, just a Zoom platform for connectivity, let me also share this to you. You might think that this is something, what you call, the way I'm talking. We are connected here, and also we are getting these blessings from the devotees who are there on this particular channel. Many of you are very pure devotees who are trying to understand the tattva or the depth or the in-depth meaning of Bhagavad Gita. So that particular aura is also flowing within us,
And
Prabhuji.
when you said you're happy, whenever we listen to Krishna, that's when the happiness, the word happiness actually becomes permanent, Prabhu.
He's always around us.
Yes,
Because we are discussing about him.
Yeah.
And I really want to appreciate all those people who have really put in efforts to just to come on Zoom, and you don't know how much pleasure you people are distributing to all those people who are just unaware about Krishna and Bhakti Prabhupada. Haribol Prabhuji, I'm extremely happy, and I will promise you the kind of links I have been getting, I would definitely share with all my people around. Yeah, that would at least connect one dot to the another dot so that it creates a line. Yeah.
That was the total what you call efforts of our Srila Prabhupada. He said at least one person connects and is able to understand the tattva of bhakti or the devotional service. His whatever efforts are done. We
Yes,
saw that
today
in the
we
chat
saw.
as well.
Yeah, we saw that 108. It shows that when we showed the video, it was like somebody had asked that why did Srila Prabhupada go around the world 108 times? So he replied that because he didn't want us to go to he didn't want us to roam around the world 108 times. Rather, he wanted us to go back to Godhead.
Yes.
Yes, so it's his mercy, Prabhu. It's all his mercy, and also all the acharyas who have made these efforts. And somehow or the other, all of us have done something that we are able to get this prasad. Otherwise, it's very difficult. There is so many things around the world, and how nicely all of you are sitting and listening to this class instead of so many distractions. In spite of so many distractions that has been created in today's world.
Yeah, we could have chosen anything else, but we are connected to this. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
And last thing which I wanted to tell you, see, we are just getting to know so many things because you must have gone through so many books and all, so many experiences which you had. You just shared with us in 1 hour, 1 or 2 hours. It is our fortune, right? That we are getting to know you people, getting to hear you people. Now we are so blessed.
Thank you so much. All glories to our Guru and Gauranga. Thank you so
All
much.
your effort, and I would like to thank on all behalf, right? You're doing wonderful job. Please continue to do it, and we would try to share as much as possible with a lot of people. Yeah.
Please do
Definitely pray for us, Prabhuji, so
Please
that we
pray
don't
for us
falter.
and
Please
praise
pray
for
for us.
everyone, and please keep us in your prayers whenever you're praying to Krishna, and also please move into devotional service as you're having a devotee family.
Hare Krishna, Hare Bol. Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Bol.
We saw the same question Prabhuji have asked.
Certain
Questions on the
questions
chat
on
as
the
well.
chat, and then we can, if at all there is no more questions, then we can close.
Yeah,
But we're
I
just
think
doing
same
one last.
Pradeep Prabhu had asked, even though we read a lot and no Supreme Personality of Godhead, why is it so difficult to get rid of Maya of material world? Yeah, the only way to get rid of Maya in this material world, to pick up your chanting bag or start chanting and surrender to the Lord, to the lotus feet of the Lord. That's
Yes,
the only way
also
out.
it's when there is a shloka that says Jivera Swarupa Krishnera Nitya Dasa. So we have to be, our living entity's spiritual position is actually we need to be with Krishna and we need to serve Krishna. And wherever there is no Krishna, also our acharyas compare Krishna like sunshine, and whenever there is no sunshine, it becomes a shadow.
Yes.
And that shadow is Mahamaya. So whenever we don't surrender to Krishna, we get stuck in Maya. So that's why that's why it's like I think the question was, why do we get stuck with Maya? So only way to get rid of Maya Devi will start helping us through only if we are, she will test us if we are really into Krishna consciousness or not. And if we are not, then definitely we fall into Maya. So we have to give so many tests before we even surrender to Krishna. That's why we have to be strong with Dhrida Vrita, be with Krishna.
And there are similar questions. Someone with the name as iPhone, we don't know, and also Vijay, someone who has raised a question. Without Lord permission, nothing will happen. And why did Mahabharata war happen? We answered.
Yeah.
If Krishna can do anything, why didn't he change the mindset or do magic with Duryodhana's mindset to guide? He tried to do many magics. This also we answered, but he doesn't force anyone because he has given the minute independence and the free will. Right. We need a right guru to learn the teachings. That's correct. Okay. Are all the souls present in Kali Yuga have been traveling in this material world since Satya Yuga?
Yes.
We don't know. Maybe from many yugas we have been traveling. We don't know.
We don't know for how many millennia we've been traveling in this
because we have been
world.
making many sins. Yes. Spiritual meaning in Hindi. Divya, divine. Somebody asked that question. Thanks for the wonderful session. Okay. The first session. Okay.
That's it. I think that's about it.
Please ask questions in the chat. We'll take turn by turn. Ahimsa Kandiva. I think this be answered. Who has given evil mind to Duryodhana? Is it not Lord Krishna? No, Lord Krishna doesn't give any evil mind or good mind to anybody. We all had the perfect mind, and we were, as we said, we were parts and parcels of the Lord. We were serving the Lord. But we came down here because we wanted to enjoy in this material world. That's how we came to this particular material world. I want to know about this 18 days course process about the certificate. Yes, Praveen, Shruti, I don't know if Praveen is still here. Yes, once you start doing or going through this particular course, at the end of each and every day, you will gain access to our teachables link. You will be able to take quizzes. Once you take all the quizzes, 18 chapters as well as the last, there will be another final quiz, 19 quizzes, then you will be able to get access to the certificate. Questions on souls will be in the next chapter. Yes, I think that was answered. On the same context.
This also be answered. Yeah. Mataji had pronounced about this good and bad.
Yes.
Good and bad.
Whether devotee with Bandavats, yeah, this is answered. Hare Krishna. Sorry for another question. If we have been here for many lives, then why we weren't able to go back to Godhead earlier, and how many more lives we have to get here again? That was by Shaksham. Yes, we have been here from many lives. Then why are we not able to go back to Godhead? Because we have not picked up, we have not surrendered to the Lord. We have not taken up I think, yes, Shaksham Prabhu is still there to answer, because we have not surrendered to the Lord and we still don't understand the tattva about Lord. As and when we surrender to the Lord and pick up to devotional service, it's a sure ticket to go back to Godhead, Prabhuji.
Yes, we don't accept it very easily, although we know it. Even though we have devotee friends, devotee families, we don't easily take it up, thinking that because of our own ego and many other contaminations that we have been surrounded with most of the times. But the moment we think that we want to surrender, immediately we get the ticket to go back to Godhead.
Okay, then.
Why did Krishna advise Arjuna when Yudhishthira seems more qualified to receive the message of the Lord? Okay, this is a question about, there's a question about, do we have Akanksha here?
That's okay. No, we don't.
Okay. Yeah. The question from Akanksha is, why did Krishna advise Arjuna when Yudhishthira seems more qualified to receive the message of the Lord? To answer this question, actually, Arjuna is the third child, and Arjuna is more qualified here because he was a friend of Krishna. So he believes he is a very dear friend of Krishna, and also Arjuna is always, he's the greatest devotee of Lord Krishna. And Yudhishthira is also a devotee of the Lord. However, if we see over here, Yudhishthira, if we notice how Yudhishthira used to work out is, even though he could stop, he was always towards the dharma. Although you're towards the dharma, sometimes you need to be understanding that, when it's required, certain things have to be stopped immediately. So even though Yudhishthira and Arjuna, both of them were humble, Arjuna knew how to play it in the way it's supposed to be put it across. For example, when they were supposed to be doing this the gambling match. So the gambling, there was no necessity for them to gamble, but Yudhishthira still took up because he was so humble, and he still took up, even if it was a disadvantage towards them, he still took up. But if it was Arjuna, he wouldn't have taken up. So there we see that Arjuna is more qualified over there, and also Arjuna is actually one of the greatest devotees of the Lord. This is another qualification. So there are many qualifications that Arjuna had versus the Yudhishthira, or even versus Bhima.
Yes, and we see someone by name Monalisha Maji. I think the person is still there, not sure. Yeah, I daily read Bhagavad Gita. I will continue this session all 18 days. Thank you. Hari Bol, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Please
Hari
continue
Bol,
this.
very nice.
Bhishma, the tenacious warrior and the venerable scholar, knows that justice is on the side of the Pandavas. He was even made a public proclamation of this, but he is leading the Kaurava army, which means that his deeds do not correspond to his thought and words. Harmony of thought, word, and deed is to suggest the virtue, its absence of hypocrisy and wickedness. Why is he considered Pitamaha then?
Yes, actually, Lord, that is Bhishma Pitama, is actually the greatest, one of the greatest warriors,
Mahajanas.
and Lord Bhishma Dev is actually 25 times more stronger than Arjuna himself, and but still, he did what exactly is righteous from his side, and he's actually one of the 12 Mahajanas. He's counted as one of the 12 Mahajanas. We cannot say that Bhishma Pitama is wicked or anything like that. He's following his dharma in the most righteous way, and that's why he's called as Bhishma. So here the contradictory word which is used is wickedness. No, he is actually following, and he is actually in harmony. He is trying to do his own swadharma. We will know about
Nitya
tomorrow.
Dharma and the Swadharma. Yeah.
Yeah, we will know tomorrow that he has certain things that he has taken up, which is Swadharma and also Nitya Dharma. So he needs to do those dharma, and that's why he's completing those dharmas. So we cannot contradict. You will get this clarified when we read, when we see serials, we will be thinking that we'll concoct, and that's not correct way. Rather, we need to read scriptures to get all of these clarified. And Bhishma Pitama is considered to be one of the 12 Mahajanas, and that's very, very sacred. He should be considered that there was nothing wrong that in whatever actions he took.
Yeah,
And in fact,
Bhagavatam,
he's
the Bhishma's
glorified.
prayers. Yes,
Yeah, in
glorified.
fact, he's been glorified for the way he he put himself in his conduct was glorified, and in the end, the way he left his body, that was also an arrangement of the Lord, where the way he left his body is the way one has to leave the body, is been given as a perfect example also. And he gave many teachings before he could leave his body. He gave many teachings to all of them as to how one should lead the kingdom. All of these teachings were imparted to Pandavas before he left his body in Uttarayana.
Okay, I think there are no questions in chat.
Yes.
We will take, I think, Pradeep.
Pradeep Prabhu, I think that was the last question.
I think that was the last question. Okay.
Yes.
Sorry to ask once again. Okay.
Yes, Prabhu.
Sure, Prabhu.
Yeah, but I wanted to ask one thing. As I said, that my brother and my father is a devotee, right? And they have been doing it from last 14, 16 years. I did chanting sometimes, but the question always always stays with me is, whenever I do the chanting, sometimes what happens, my mind goes for jogging or walking outside, right? So Prabhuji and Mataji, please shower me the knowledge how to control that mind, because that mind goes in material world. Yeah, to be very honest, that is why I stopped chanting. What I feel always is, why to do it unnecessary and forcibly when I'm not able to do it, right? Otherwise, it would displease the God.
This is exactly what we think, Prabhuji. You're very bang on. For example, my brother, my bhaiya, bhabhi, they have been into this, what you call, for the last 20 years, almost 20 to 25 years. But We have only picked up this Krishna conscious only for the last 5 to 10 years, right? To be very honest, we have picked up only 10 years. Why? And I'm born from a devotee family as well. It's been 40 years. How come I have not picked up? It's because we, from the mundane knowledge, whatever knowledge we have, which we call it as in the Shastras, it's called as avidya. It's not the vidya. The vidya is the real scriptural knowledge. From the avidya, we feel that whatever knowledge we have gained, the so-called mundane knowledge, we feel that everything has a logic.
Correct.
Without a logic and without a reason and a purpose, we do not want to do anything. We do not even want to move an inch. Why? It's because we are bound in this material world. For everything, we need a reason and a logic. And why our mind, Chanchalam hi mana Krishna, which we will learn that in the upcoming chapters. Our mind is so powerful, we will see that with the analogy of a body of a chariot, where our senses, everything is controlled by mind. So we have to control the mind, we have to utilize our intelligence. Once we utilize our intelligence, we will be able to know. For a simple thing, how we able to do it? There are 9 processes of devotional service. We can pick up one which is very, very favorable for this particular Kali Yuga, which is chanting, which you were able to do till date. After this 10 years also, if you ask me, Prabhuji, are you a perfect in chanting? I would say still no. Why am I not able to be perfect? Because we are still in this material world. But how do we again try to become perfect? Just focus on the lotus feet of the Lord. Try to bring all your attention to the lotus feet of the Lord. Just ensure that you spend more and more time on chanting.
So Prabhuji and Mataji, I sorry to interrupt you. So it's fine if I do it and my mind goes for jogging and walking outside, right? It is fine, right? It is not so bad.
Prabhu, what happens is that, because we have been conditioned that for so many millennia and so many births, we have been actually not been chanting. We have not been taking Krishna's name. So now that you're taking the name, it will go have many distractions. But the only way to start chanting properly is try to somehow get your focus back into chanting and sit. And there are certain methods. I have like a PPT which comes up where it shows that certain methods of how you can improvise on chanting. First, sit in front of Tulsi Maharani. She's very merciful. She'll try to give this when you're sitting in front of Tulsi Maharani and you're not having any distractions. She will try to help you a lot. So keep your chanting back and sit in front of Tulsi Maharani and chant so that your distractions become lesser. And have a place where you don't have any distractions, especially the mobile phones. Don't keep them next to you. And apart from that, try to have a place where that is your sacred place. Not exactly altar or not exactly in front of Krishna. It could be any place where
Any
no
corner,
distraction.
any table room where it is complete avoid of distraction, distraction, I would say.
And also keep a time that I will talk to Krishna during this time. I'm going to be dedicating this time only to be with Krishna and only to please Krishna. So that will help that okay, I'm in the right mood, that I want to please Krishna and I want to dedicate this time. Like you host a meeting. When you host a meeting, you will give, this is half an hour to my friend and I'm going to be with him. I'm not going to go anywhere else because I enjoy being with him. So like that, you will say, this is the time that I'm giving it to you, Krishna, and I'm going to be there. And you have to be there so that you dedicate and you please him. And when you're chanting, you feel that you're able to reciprocate, and you're listening to, now you're listening to the 18 days course. So meditate on those concepts that Krishna himself has told you. These slokas are given by him. So keep thinking, okay, I learned this in the class today. Maybe it's like this. So you're scrutinizing there, and Krishna will reply with answers. So this way
Mataji, I'm feeling so blessed to get the answer from you, both of you, right? But I have exercised this technique in a temple also, when everybody is chanting, right? Everybody look so engrossed, and I always felt that why I am the only one sitting in the temple also, sitting next to all the devotees also, they are so engrossed in their chanting. Why can't I focus on my chanting? Why my mind goes for jogging or walking or in the material world?
I'm with you, Prabhuji. I'm totally with you. When we started chanting, my 10-year-old kid was chanting like anything. And if I used to chant, he was 7 years, 8 years by that time. And I used to wonder why am I getting a headache when I chant one round? This is
Yes.
exactly what I was, and I used to leave my chanting bag.
Yeah.
Someone is asking a question here in the chat saying, Sushil Prabhu,
The
what is meant
chanting
by
the
chanting?
shlokas or
Is
Hare
it
Krishna
chanting the shlokas or the Hare Rama, Hare Krishna Mahamantra? Yes, we are talking about the Mahamantra, which is Hare Krishna, Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So this is like one chant. So we are talking about the beads, which is 108 rounds. So I used to get a severe headache. I was
Yes.
wonder. So I used to ask Lord, oh Lord, how many sins have I done that I'm not able to chant one complete round? Will I will not be able to chant? Now, if I don't chant the prescribed 16 rounds, yeah, we feel that the 16 rounds
Correct.
are,
Correct.
every round takes like almost 6 to 8 minutes. So if we don't
Absolutely.
chant those 16 rounds, we feel I have not done something. It's like
Mhm.
feels jittery. So
Mm.
continue it, Prabhuji. Don't leave it. Definitely, you will feel the essence of it. You will learn.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji and Mataji. Thank you so
Hare
Prabhu,
much.
thank you
Krishna.
so
Very
much
good,
for
very good, sir.
asking this
Thank you
question.
for
Many of
thank you
them
for
will
giving
benefit
so
with
many
it.
answers and listening to me patiently. Really appreciate it. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I'm
Thank you,
sure this
Prabhu.
will benefit others as well. Thank
Absolutely, absolutely.
you. Hari Bol.
Why we raise our hands when we chant? This is having many reasons. One is that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who gave this benediction of we can chant and we can go back to Godhead, this was given very mercifully by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And we will know about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in our Bhakti Vriksha classes. A little bit of gist will be given during our sessions also. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave this benediction of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and he mercifully went all around the place, all around India, where he was raising his hands saying, Krishna, you're the one, you're the savior, you're the one who can take me out of this material world. Please, it's like you're raising your hands. There's no other savior in this world other than you. So you raise your hand, both your hands, and you say, please. So you're calling Krishna with raising your hands. And also, if you see another example that's given by our Acharya says Draupadi Maharani, when she was disrobed by Dushasana himself. At that point of time, Dushasana, she told, there is no other savior. I cannot, my husbands have not been saving me. Nobody is able to save me now. The only savior that I have is Sri Krishna. So Krishna, please save me. So our condition is like that. If we are in this material world, I swim across in the ocean everywhere. I cannot take help in the ocean. I have to take out of the ocean where Garud, that is Sri Krishna, has to come and pull us out of this material world, and we need to go back to Godhead. That's why we say, please, Krishna, and we say Hare Krishna Mahamantra, so that we are just calling out Krishna, please.
With our complete surrender.
Yes.
It's why we raise our hand. It's with our complete surrender. Just like we call our mom and dad whenever we are in a problem. So we are calling our actual mom and dad, who is Lord Krishna. It's with complete surrender. So I see that there are no hands raised and no
Yes.
more questions over here. So what? Okay, I think we will allow you to unmute yourself and ask questions if any. But please
Yes, you
ask in
can.
order. So Prem Kumar Prabhu has asked
Yes,
a
you can reply.
question.
You can reply. Yes, you
My
can.
name
If you
is
can
Vin.
chant during other times when it's not allowed, yes, you can chant anywhere. There is no restriction on chanting. In fact, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also told that, also gave us this mercy that even we can chant in the washroom. It's okay. While you're taking a shower, you can chant. You can be chanting any place.
Yeah,
It's
but
allowed.
don't take that as
Yeah.
a particular sign and think that, okay, now that I'm in the washroom and it can be possible to chant, so let me make use of only this time.
Yeah.
That's like a big no.
Yeah,
But
and also don't take the chanting bag. You can chant in your own, you can chant,
so
of
you can
course,
chant anytime,
but
any place.
don't take the chanting bag inside the washroom. But you can chant while you're in any place.
Okay.
I think that's about it. Encourage
Yeah,
not
there
to
are
visit
no
temples.
questions. There are no more questions. Yes.
Thank you, Mataji.
Okay, then if this is the case, I think
Prem Kumar Mataji, I hope that is answered. I hope that's a full answer for your question.
chanting without bath, yes,
Yes.
you can. Any point of time you can.
Yes, you can
Yes.
chant. You can
There
chant
is
any
nothing
point
as
of
such
time.
that we have to be very clean and pure. Then only we can take the Lord's name. No, there's nothing
Yes.
as such.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Okay, with this, then we would like to close our session if there are no more questions. Thank you so much for listening to us patiently, and apologies in case we were not able to take your questions or we kept you waiting in the queue for a long time. And yeah, that's about it. Please
Yes.
join us for another exciting session for tomorrow, where we will learn about the soul and one of the longest chapters second longest chapters in Bhagavad Gita. Don't miss out.
Yes, this is a very, very important chapter that we'll be learning about soul, which is very important for all of us to know that what are we, why are we here, and what are we supposed to do. Our duties will be clarified tomorrow, where most of you all raised this question today, and that will be answered.
Prabhuji, Pradeep here. I wanted to ask a last question. I'm not sure whether it is good to ask you people or not. Do we get Prabhuji your number, so that in any case, if we have any questions regarding chanting or any devotional services, do we get your number to get in touch with?
We are there in our chat group. All WhatsApp the chat groups in our WhatsApp groups, both our numbers are there.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much for answering. Yeah, appreciate it.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you so much, Prabhu.
All right, we'll close now.
Okay, with this, we will close our sessions with our closing prayers. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripasindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Gunamangal Thakur ki
Jai.
Namacharya Haridas Thakur ki
Jai.
Gaur Premanande.
Hari Hari Bol.
Jai Shri Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Namanishta Prabhu ki
Jai. Samaved Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki
Prasthita Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai. Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. Hari Om Tat Sat.
With all your permission, people,
with all your permission and blessings, we will be disconnecting. See you all tomorrow. Thank you very much for joining.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Hare Krishna.